I'm good. So, are we going to kind of go through this phaseology as a Packer fan? Is this just kind of what we do?
Phaseology? What kind of phaseology?
So, I joined Vinny and Eric yesterday on WTMJ, and it was the world is collapsing. It's over. You were a little bit poo-poo-ish, not to the same extent they were. And now today, I think the Christian Watson injury and, Matt Lefleur's comments, Vinny said he wasn't very inspired by Matt Lefleur. And I'm trying to tell him, I was like, dude, this is the game that is played. We're underdogs. We just lost to the Bears. Nobody believes in us. Blah, blah, blah. By Friday, do you think it turns around? If we pull that same thing we did yesterday on Friday, will we all feel differently? Because I sense Jalen Hurts is in the concussion protocol. A lot of rust. 3 weeks, 4 weeks off for him. Point spread's only 3.5. Surprising. You look at all that, I just think this cycle's so fun to play. We're done. It's over. Maybe. Oh, okay, good practice. Oh, and by Friday, Saturday, I think a vast majority of Packer fans are going to be saying what I said yesterday on Saturday. That's what I think is going to happen. Am I crazy to think that way?
And what did you say?
I said that they have.
We can do this.
We can definitely beat Philadelphia. Yes. I wouldn't necessarily advise anyone to put a bunch of cash on it. But all I'm saying is, don't you feel like the cycle of the NFL, and especially when it gets to be late in the season, everybody overreacts almost as much as the beginning of the season?
So yes and no. First of all, you are the one who has taught me, like Yoda, that if you really believe in something, put your paycheck on it, right? I mean, who did we go after once upon a time?
Karl Malone.
Yes. So
he was the originator.
So
I'm not
for you to
tell
say we can
beat,
we can beat the Eagles and what have you, but don't put. I would recommend putting a large sum of money on it. Tells you that you don't really believe anything other than they've got a chance to have a chance.
Jason, I don't want to be an idiot. Like, the facts are...
You could not want to be.
The facts are what they are, and the odds are what they are. You give me 5 points, I'm feeling a lot better about it. Okay,
but the NFL doesn't operate that way, as you well know. The Packers don't get strokes in a chance to win the game.
No, but when you wager, you do get strokes. I don't think you do understand.
No, I do.
I'm not sure.
If the Packers lose 23-19, they do not advance to Detroit.
They don't. But you get
they win some people some money.
You get a little
extra
extra change in your account. Yes.
And that's great, yes. But we're not talking about, can I make some money off the Packers covering? It's will they,
I'm not
how confident are you they're going to beat them?
I am not there with the will you yet. I need to see some stuff play out. Right now, I would say Philadelphia is going to beat Green Bay as we sit here. But if Jalen Hurts doesn't practice, and if they're playing Kenny Pickett, we're beating Green Bay or we're beating Philly. Okay, if Kenny Pickett's the quarterback, we're winning. He ain't going to be. By the way, he's not going to be the quarterback. Jalen Hurts will be. The interesting part will be he is a big part of their run game.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm Jeff Hafley, I am crashing down and saying, Jalen, I got to see it. I got to see you pull it, and I want to make sure Edgerrin Cooper is going to come flying at you. I want to make sure all those cobwebs are out. I want to make sure you've passed all the proper tests, and we're going to come at you. And I know Chewy took a lot of heat last year when he said that, and I'm not saying to go hurt Jalen Hurts by any stretch. But if you're going to be a running quarterback and you are going to pull the ball and run the RPOs and do all that stuff, you need to get hit. And especially with where Jalen's at, that needs to be a part of it. I am going to force you to pull the ball out and go do it.
So does that change how Jeff Hafley can defend him? Because if you recall, and I know as Matt Lefleur so cleverly put it, it feels like a season ago. Ha! Good one. That they talked about in the opener how they, muddle rushed, and they did not want to actually rush Jalen Hurts because they, hurts, don't it, when he runs and gets a big gain.
Mm-hmm.
So does that change
Yes.
their approach to defending him?
I think first off, the big thing is you're going to have to, Saquon is an MVP candidate. He's not going to win because he's a running back. But I am going to not just like they're not going to let Josh Jacobs, or at least that will be the plan, I'm not going to let Saquon go. I'm going to force you to, with your quarterback that's taken it's been a long season, he's coming off the protocol, I want to see it. Yeah, if you want to tuck and go get 7-8 yards and run hard, well, okay, but we're going to punish you for it. And then we'll see how you hold up as the game goes. I don't think you can sit there. And I know when he breaks out of the pocket and he has a long run, everybody will say, well, you're crazy. You're going to need to force him to make bad decisions. You can't do that as easily with the muddle rush. I would prefer, if we get back here Monday and Jalen Hurts rushes for $140 and they beat us, I will be okay. Just like I was okay when Tannehill threw for 400. Because had Derrick Henry ran for 250, you'd have said, you're an idiot. What are you doing? You can't let him beat.
Yeah.
At this point, you have to say, they're really talented. They got good wideouts. They got a good tight end. They got a really good O-line. It's going to be tough sledding. You have to pick. And until he proves that, if I'm Jeff Hafley, I am coming at Jalen Hurts in a big way. In a big way.
Okay. Well, we will see what his game plan is. Saquon Barkley ran for 2,000 yards.
Not in Brazil, he didn't.
No, not all in that one game. But he did have a very productive game. That he had a catch that went for a big gain as well.
He's a good player. But let me tell you a little something.
Tell me.
You know who wasn't out on the field much that day?
Edgerrin Cooper. He played 10 snaps. He had a big play, and then they took him out because he misaligned on a touchdown run.
I'm going to be all right if he messes up a couple times because he going to go hunt. He a dog. He's got to be out on the field a ton. And he is going to be fast enough and physical enough to make it hurt. Donuts. He's going to make it hurt. That's what you need to do. This isn't cutesy-wootsy football now.
Cutesy wootsy.
This is, I understand everybody's concerned about all that, but this needs to be, Green Bay needs to be more physical with Jalen Hurts and with this whole crew because Philly lives on that. That's how they win games. You're not going to beat Philly by not being very physical. You need to do it, and you need to be very deliberate about it. Very deliberate.
How many times are we going to do Hurts Donut this year or this week?
I like it. It's kind of fun. Jalen can't practice. Ooh, Hurts Donuts.
Should we all have Hurts Donuts on Friday?
They're out of
anticipation.
I think allegedly. I don't think they're in. I don't know. They're not.
I don't know. I get Quick Trip donuts. So, I'm a Glazer guy.
I'll get some Dunkers.
We can have Hurts Donuts and Crow
we'll get some
all from Quick Trip. Yeah.
Indeed. The polls that we posted yesterday that Tausch referenced, one coming up on 1,400 votes, the other one approaching 1,000 votes. So thank you for your engagement, despite me not getting the monthly fee for the blue check mark.
I see your guy Zuck is kind of going the same route as Elon. That's an interesting little dynamic. Those two guys.
He's not my guy either.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Anyways, I do about that.
So I don't know exactly.
Well, can I finish the poll
Sure.
so people know where they're at? Because you referenced them to start the show, Mr. Positivity.
Go ahead.
Can't wait to get your positivity score a little bit later in the program. But poll number one was, are you concerned about the Packers heading into the playoffs after the way they closed the regular season with back-to-back losses? 85% of you said, yes, I'm concerned. 15% no, I'm not concerned. Okay? So you think that number will morph by Friday to 60-40?
So I don't necessarily know about the concern. I think it's more the optimism of being able to beat Philly.
So the second question was, is your confidence in the Packers heading into the playoffs at the lowest it has been all season? 59% said, yes, I'm at an all-time low.
I think that's
41% no. Not
that's probably the one, and I think that'll flip by Friday. I think the other one is you can't really repoll that. Optimism and where Packer fans are. Of course, we're going to be down in the dumps. It's a tough loss. I think most Packer fans want to be optimistic. They do. There is obviously a tinge of reality is set in with how far this group of guys can go. Can they go the whole way? Odds would tell you they can't. But there have been plenty of times that's happened. The New York Giants in 2007, nobody thought they could. Now, it's rare. It is rare. But that doesn't mean it can't happen. And so for me, I think I want to look at things realistically, but I also am going to look at it with this isn't some bad football team. They played a bad game against Chicago. I put a lot of that on the fact I don't think there was a clear plan as far as
is it a good enough football team?
They are good enough to beat Philly.
None of us thinks
they're
bad.
Good enough to beat Philly. Are they going to? We'll find out.
Put a large amount of money on it. What was that?
What was that? What was that?
That's you imitating me.
Now,
that's
is
me
Cody
imitating
in
you
Pittsburgh,
imitating
is that
me.
Jana's guy?
I think that's Colby. I think that's different.
I haven't
So
heard
you
a lot
know
from
that
Jana.
not all of our listeners
I understand.
in Pittsburgh
Are in love.
are in some way connected to Jana.
Okay.
Maybe this is her brother.
Cody.
But
It's, okay.
Cody in Pittsburgh. Big city, Pittsburgh.
I think A-Rod, if A-Rod plays next year, I think he goes to Pittsburgh.
No.
I do.
Can they beat Philly, says Cody in Pittsburgh on the carbless talk and text line. List is more.
Underrated downtown Pittsburgh. Very underrated downtown.
I think it's properly rated.
No, I don't think people think highly of it at all.
No, I think like you talk about most scenic,
Better than Cleveland downtown?
Yes. Yeah.
most scenic ballpark
St.
to go
Louis?
to in all of Major League Baseball.
Yes.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah. I think that's better than Cleveland.
Go to a 7:00 first pitch in Pittsburgh. Sit on the third base line. Hit the golden hour, touching the buildings in downtown Pittsburgh across the river. It's gorgeous.
Glorious. Okay. Yeah, Paul
Almost
Skenes. Skenes is down there too.
Almost as nice as Detroit in January. Can they beat Philly? Sure. Any given Sunday. But they aren't going to win because they fixed their problems. It would be because of the issues Philly is having. What issues do they have besides Jalen Hurts being in the concussion protocol?
Yeah, their defense is much better than it was. I think their run game is better. They're a better team than they were. I don't know. They've
coach.
improved more than we have. Yeah, their coach is, he's a loose cannon.
Wonder what it's like to work with one of
And
those.
I think that crowd could turn on the Philly faithful too. That's a crowd that'll turn now.
They are the Philly faithful.
wait a minute.
Not so faithful,
They could
though,
turn
if
on
they
themselves. They've been known to.
That's what I just said.
If I can finish Cody's text, that would be great. Beating Philly doesn't change the fact that the Packers have a lot of problems. It's title town, not wild card round town.
Oh,
Great.
snap.
That's a good little text. Good little text by Coaster.
Glad I was able to get
I
through
hope
it.
Cody gets together with Colby and Jana.
Little watch
I'd
party
love to
on Sunday?
Yeah, I think that. Well, no, don't get your mind out of the gutter, Wilde. I'm talking about just going grabbing a beer and watching the Pack. I think it'd be great to get a little Wilde and Tausch Pittsburgh community, and then we have some Chicago. That would be a nice little thing, and they could send us a picture with their drinking their Coors Light and their Tito's and wolfing down Grassland butter. And that would be a fun little thing for us.
TJ Watt could stop by.
Are they wolfing down the Grassland butter just plain, just eating it with a spoon?
Well, they could stop at a Quick Trip and grab something and put the butter on that.
I didn't know Quick Trip had Pittsburgh locations. Look, if you are in Pittsburgh and listening to this show right now, text the Carbless Talk and Text line, 844-770-3776.
Codester, you rascal.
Cody, subsequently, Pittsburgh sucks. Tausch, I want to move
All right,
back
Cody,
home.
come on home. Let's go. Head on back. That's beautiful.
Well, don't come home until after you've gotten together with Colby and Jana.
Gotta at least see if maybe that will help you in Pittsburgh. If that can spring some things forward.
if you're in Pittsburgh, we'd love to hear from you so Tausch could get his tweet up going to cheer for the Packers on Sunday against the Eagles.
Can we agree that the Packers' run has been better than the Pittsburgh Steelers' run of the last, even though, they're 8-8. I'm so sick of that narrative. Like, if they get beat this weekend, are we going to still talk about how great Pittsburgh is? You know what I mean?
Mike Tomlin got him into playoffs again.
Who's talking about how great they are?
Evan Cohen.
Well, 15 straight years. Every coach in America would get fired to bring Tomlin. It's like, Lefleur, again, not us. Some folks are putting him on the hot seat.
Right. Do you think the Pittsburghian version of us...
Pittsburgh and Green Bay, I would say, are probably the most similar fan bases.
So do you think that there is a former Steelers offensive lineman and some beat writer in Pittsburgh doing a show, and they're talking about Mike Tomlin, and they've got fans calling, saying, it's time. I don't care that they made the playoffs. They lost their last 4 games. Right.
I don't think the show's probably as fun as what we do, but I bet they're very thorough. And
they're saying how great Milwaukee is.
They should be.
Jesse.
They should be, by the way. What Milwaukee has done has been fantastic. I'd actually be interested to go like a power rankings, or like let's do a side-by-side, restaurants and activities and all the stuff, and compare Pittsburgh to Milwaukee. That'd be fun, Jesse. That's an April deal. Anywho.
All right.
Write it down on the board that he pushes the button and it all erases.
I'm not there. I'm not in my undisclosed location, so I can't. I think when you look at it, yes, when you have championship pedigree and that's the aspiration, you need to get there, and you need to be. It can't just be we're making the playoffs. And I think what Matt Lefleur is finding out was last year was a freebie. Develop. This year, because of how last year's postseason went, the expectation game is real. It was higher. And if this team loses in the first round this year to Philly, which they're favored to do, there's going to be a lot of conversation. And I don't think it's going to be fair, but that's the reality of this job. There will be a ton of conversation about what he needs to do. Nobody will say he should be fired. I mean, most people. But there will be people saying he better go and win some playoff games next year, or that seat's going to get super hot. That is what's going to happen. I'm telling you.
What's also going to happen is you're going to tell us about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin so we can continue this conversation.
Well, Happy New Year means a lot of rough days ahead for those who suffer from seasonal affective disorder. Some people call it SAD. Plenty of gray, frigid days. It is frigid out on the horizon, where we just want to be snuggly and warm and cozy at the crib. Pella can make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. Celebrate the new year. 0 interest for up to 3 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. But hurry up. You only have until January 31st, so visit PellaWI.com today to learn more. Certain restrictions do apply.
We'll continue this conversation next. It's Wilde And Tausch.
This is Wilde And Tausch. Wilde And Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. The best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
That's the idea of a deal. Each side gets wins, right? They have Jordan Love under contract for the next 5 years.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30. Sponsored by Island Resort and Casino.
I think Packers fans would sign up for 12-5 today, and maybe they will be.
Right here on 94.5 ESPN, and also streaming live on the Wisconsin On Demand app and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Ready to tackle your home improvement project this winter? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. As a 5-time President's Club Award winner, Exterior Pros is not playing around. With flexible financing, it's never been easier to invest in your home without breaking the bank. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation today.
Kevin Moret for Mentality. Most new Mentality clients are stuck running on just 1/3 of the free testosterone they need, and that's why nothing feels right. You're drained, frustrated, and stuck in a body that won't respond to diet or exercise. But it's not your fault. Mentality's doctors specialize in fixing the imbalance. When your free testosterone is restored, everything changes. Your strength, your energy, and drive all come roaring back. Start the year strong with our New Year's offer at mentalityhealth.com/radio. That's mentalityhealth.com/radio.
This is Monster Jam. Big air, backflips, and all-out racing. Monster Jam, as big as it gets. The fun begins at the pit party, where you can meet the drivers, get autographs, take pictures, and see the trucks up close. Get your pit party pass at monsterjam.com today. Must have valid event ticket to enter pit party. Restrictions may apply. Rules and activities are subject to change. Visit website for event details. Coming to Fiserv Forum for 3 huge events January 10th through 11th.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Tri-City National Bank offers a full suite of personal and business banking products at 28 convenient locations. Open your account today at the community bank that was voted Milwaukee's best bank. Learn more at tcnb.com.
The Packers will be without wide receiver Christian Watson for the remainder of the playoffs and possibly to start next season after suffering a torn ACL in the loss to the Chicago Bears. Watson had 29 catches for 620 yards and 2 touchdowns and was the team's best deep threat, averaging 21.4 yards per catch. Head coach Matt Lefleur says it's a big blow to the team heading into this weekend's wild card matchup against the Eagles.
Yeah, it's a big-time loss. Just his presence on the field alone. Obviously, he's got an element in terms of his size and speed that's tough to replicate.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank.
Family's bigger? Out of space? We can help you find a new place. Just make Tri-City your first call. We're here to help, loan large or small. Tri-City National Bank, equal housing lender, NMLS 433891.
Hey ESPN Wisconsin fans, Brad Nortman here. Whether you're an athlete like me or just want to feel your best, Quintessa's new wellness center in Brookfield is your go-to for peak performance. With services like hormone therapy, IV drip therapy, medical weight loss, and anti-aging, Quintessa has everything to keep your body running at its best. It's not just about game day, it's about every day. Check out myquintessa.com/wellness and see how Quintessa can help you stay at the top of your game. Your body deserves it.
Right now, more than 100,000 children waiting in foster care need our help. The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is focused on finding them safe, permanent homes. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
You're listening to Wilde And Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
We're getting all kinds of helpful suggestions in the YouTube comments from Jesse's favorite people. Some defensive game planning going on in there. Rancid Funk, which sounds like a really good band. I would say we sell out on the run because if Hurts plays, he'll be rusty and we'll shake him up. I think that's a little bit of what you're saying there, Tausch.
That's almost exactly what I'm saying.
John, my strategy to beat Philly, pass rush only to contain Hurts. We don't get home anyway. Then assign Cooper to shadow Barkley every play, everywhere. Play a 10-on-10 game everywhere else.
No, I want Cooper hammering Jalen Hurts. Like I want
and everybody
him
else rallying to Saquon.
Well, you got to play your position, but if you're going to put somebody on, if you want to see where Coop is going to play, I want him being responsible, chasing down Jalen Hurts and making Jalen Hurts think about what he's doing when he leaves the pocket. That's what I want.
So we understand, like, he's in the concussion protocol. That doesn't mean that he won't have cleared it, obviously.
No, he's going to clear it. He just hasn't practiced. They had a couple of practices. He did a walkthrough, but that didn't need to be cleared. He's playing. Like, by all accounts.
I'm guessing he practices tomorrow as part of advancing through the protocol.
For sure.
Practices Thursday, then plays on Sunday. And what I would say about that is the rust is the factor here. Like, you're not going to go headhunting him, I would hope.
No. We're not. I'm not talking about headhunting.
I know you're not. I wanted to make sure everyone understood.
I'm talking about being physical. I'm talking about making sure when you have somebody, and this is just the cold reality of the NFL, if somebody has an ankle or somebody has something, you as an opponent test those players, period. And Jalen Hurts is really good at getting outside the pocket. He extends plays. You do wonder when you're rusty and you've not been out there early in that game. And I believe early in that game in Brazil we got a pick. Did we not? I think that was early in that game. Yeah, I don't know.
I'll have to fact check.
It was a season ago.
It was a season. He beat me to it, you jerk. Good, well done. I want to get to Mike McCarthy as the next coach of the Bears at some point during the show. I also want to thank Coach Monk in the YouTube comments, who said I had a great question yesterday for Lefleur. It was no softball. So I'm glad.
Did you ask him why the passing game has been terrible?
We talked about that, and we talked about this sloppiness, and I do want to get to that later in the show. I want to get to Evan Cohen coming up next, but Jana notifies us. I'm listening in Pittsburgh, but you already knew that. Remind me what we're doing with this info. Well, we're getting you together with other Pittsburghers.
You and Colby to go.
Whether you want to or not.
We want you and Colby to go watch with Cody. It sounds like Cody's not loving Pittsburgh. And I don't know where Colby and Jana are as far as loving Pittsburgh. I don't know.
That's a great question. I'm curious.
Jana, are you and Colby loving Pittsburgh, or do you want to get back to the motherland?
Just so you know, she's not on the phone. You kind of asked that as if you're expecting an answer.
We're soliciting a conversation here among all three of these. I'd
like to get a little Pittsburgh contingent. And then when we go to play them in Ireland, maybe we all go. How fun would that be?
You know who's from Pittsburgh originally?
Big Mike.
Owned
a bar. His old man owned a bar there. Tough guy.
Coming together.
Pittsburgh tough.
Pittsburgh macho, I believe was the phrase.
If it's Pittsburgh macho, what is Green Bay?
Wild card round town from based on Cody's text. All right, I want to get to Evan Cohen. We'll ask him about this.
I know
Mike
what
McCarthy
Westchester
idea.
County is.
What is that?
Oh, you know.
I don't know.
Well, I think you do.
It's a gated community, from what I've heard from you.
Indeed.
Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike joins us next. It's Wilde And Tausch.
Summer will sound a little...
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcasts for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Looking for the most popular answer. What's the worst thing about Wisconsin winters? Gina Della from Pella.
Finding a sitter when snow closes school. Yay! It's the time of the year when we just want to be all warm and snuggly at home. And Pella helps make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. With inviting doors to let friends and family in and beautiful energy-efficient windows to keep the cold out. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply.
We all experience daily struggles, and with so many concerns to be conscious of, breathing should not be one of them. Mark Tauscher here for Advent, and if you're like me and have had snoring issues, sinus problems, or difficulty breathing, then you'll want to meet the team at Advent. The team of Advent specialists have a few simple steps to help evaluate your individual limitations and get you back to breathing well. Since Advent addressed my snoring and nasal breathing issues, I feel great. I've never slept better, and my wife Sarah is incredibly appreciative. The team of Advent specialists listened to my struggles, found the best solution for me, and customized it to my needs. Take my word for it and go to adventknows.com to learn more about simple solutions to snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems. And schedule your appointment today, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
It's time for the Marquette Minute on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Wintrust. Get your Golden Eagles essentials by opening Marquette checking from Wintrust today.
Number 8 Marquette used a 26-3 run between the end of the first half and beginning of the second to down Creighton 79-71 at Fiserv Forum. Senior guard Cam Jones scored 15 of his 22 points in the second half to go along with 9 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals. His 7th game this season with 12-plus points, 5-plus assists, and 5-plus rebounds.
Back out Cam Jones. Open three, you bet. Oh, baby.
Oh, I thought he had a layup. It was a good find there.
Welcome back, Cam Jones. We missed you.
Senior guard Stevie Mitchell finished with 18 points, 14 coming in the first half, along with 6 rebounds and 2 assists. His 4th straight game scoring in double digits. The Golden Eagles moved to 13-2 overall and 4-0 in Big East play. They stay home to host Georgetown Tuesday night.
This has been the Marquette Minute on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Wintrust, Wisconsin's bank, and the official bank of Marquette University.
Ready for a win? Well, it's your year. At Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee, you could win over $2,000 in free play every month all year long. Just play your favorite games and you might take the stage in the It's Your Year game show. 25 winners each Thursday. There's $300,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs this January. Yeah, we think it's your year. More info at paysbig.com. Must be 21 years old to play.
UW Credit Union presents the Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Ashton Rotman with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
This week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week is Wisconsin Lutheran boys basketball player Isaiah Mellock. The 6'2 senior guard spent his sophomore and junior seasons making a big impact on the varsity squad while coming off the bench mostly, but he was a part of last season's state title team. This year, however, the Vikings starting combo guard is showcasing his talent. Mellock is averaging over 12 points a game and is shooting 50% from beyond the arc, helping Wisconsin Lutheran to an undefeated start this season. That, of course, including big wins at the Rick Majerus WBY shootout, where he put up 18 points in a win over Marquette and earned MVP. Off the court, Isaiah boasts a 3.5 GPA and is looking to continue his basketball career once he graduates. Congratulations to this week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, Isaiah Mellock.
This is Wilde And Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
I like this song. Miles Smith, Stargaze.
Did Evan change his walk-up music?
We don't have Evan yet.
Oh, I didn't see that. Oh, I suppose he's big time now. He's a TV guy. I don't know if you heard that.
We're efforting on connecting with him, but let's hear something that was said on the program that he hosts every weekday across ESPN Radio and ESPN Wisconsin, and that, of course, is Unsportsmanlike. Here is Adam Schefter talking on Unsportsmanlike.
As of late last night, the Cowboys still had not granted permission to the Bears, and the Bears were in a holding pattern as of last night at about 11:30 Eastern. And so the Bears are waiting to see if the Cowboys will sign off on allowing them to interview Mike McCarthy. And if they won't, then Dallas will have this week to figure out what it wants to do with Mike McCarthy one way or another. And if they get a deal done, then obviously there's nothing to talk about with Chicago. And if they don't, then he can talk to Chicago next week.
So that is Adam Schefter talking about the Mike McCarthy situation, the former Packers coach and current until January 14th under contract to the Dallas Cowboys.
You don't sense the Bears are going to hire him, do you? This feels negotiate-y to me.
I was talking with someone who's a friend of mine who covers the Bears, who said
Waddle?
that it was not one of our ESPN Chicago teammates.
Courtney?
It was not Courtney
Sills.
either. If I may, so we can get to Evan because we have him now. There is a feeling. There is a feeling. God, you're annoying. there is a feeling in the building that he would be maybe not the sexiest hire, but might be the smartest hire.
Yeah, they need some structure and some of that. It sounds, just listening to their players, when your players are saying you're not disciplined enough and organized enough, it ain't good. It ain't good.
Well, we're plenty organized, and now we'll be even better because joining us from Unsportsmanlike, there's his walk-up music. It is our friend Evan Cohen. Evan, good morning. You're a Mike McCarthy fan, right? Not as big of a fan as you are of Belichick, but you like McCarthy, don't you?
I do. Was it Carmen? Was it Yurko? Who else? Who else was the friend that you talked to?
Zeddy? Was it Zedster?
Was it Peggy? Was it Dia?
Oh, Pegs.
Was it
Black?
Was it Abdallah?
It was Abdallah. Yep, you got it. You finally got there. You figured it out.
And Jason, this friend that you were talking to, because I know you want to go down this route. How many meals have you had with this?
Oh, what a
person?
great question. I'm going to say 0 for him.
No,
right?
three or four at scouting combines and the like.
Yeah, been in a combine since the pandemic.
Thought they'd be all at Cut.
Yeah, but you should go to Cut. If you're down in Chicago, go to Cut. Yeah. Get that,
and then get Baskin Robbins ice cream.
No.
afterwards.
Get that. What did I call it? The baked salmon,
Jeez.
baked Alaska. Yeah. Evan, did you know baked Alaska didn't have fish in it?
Yeah, I learned this years ago that it's actually a dessert, right?
Yeah,
or no?
and it's fantastic too, especially at Cut.
It's like a puffy marshmallowy kind
Yeah,
of dessert.
it's like a little blowtorched, meringued. Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm on top of this. But to your point, Tash, I did not know that until recently. I had no idea that was like, I would have thought baked Alaska absolutely would have been a fish dish that would have been disgusting.
Yeah, I thought there was fish in the dessert, but there's not. Like a nice piece of salmon in between some. Yeah, that's what I thought. And I was.
Thought there was fish in a dessert?
I did.
That's disgusting.
No, is it? There's candied salmon with you can candy anything. Put enough sugar and crystallize it, right?
That's gross. That is gross.
Well, great. Gross.
Fish, Jason, you would eat that? A fish in the dessert?
No, of course not. I feel like I'm having deja vu because we did this whole thing after he ate it Cut, and now we're doing it again.
Yeah, but Evan wasn't there. Not everybody listens every day, Jason. That's what I was taught.
You're right. That's true. All right.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
you see the alarms are going off when Tausch is like this. Uh-oh.
It's all that congestion pricing you got in New York there. It's all that congestion pricing.
Don't even get me started. So, to answer your question, yes, I'm a big Mike McCarthy fan. I think he's criminally underrated in his accomplishments as a head coach.
Is that because he's heavy?
Yes.
Is that because he's heavy, sir?
Yeah, of course. No, not heavy as much as schlubby, and I think there is a difference. Because I think you could be a little schlubby without being heavy. You know, I think that he's not. He doesn't. Now he happens to be not. Let's just call him Sean McVay in terms of his appearance, right?
Fair. Yeah, I think he'd agree with that.
Or like Brian Flores jacked, right? When he's coaching the Dolphins, he's wearing those tight long sleeve shirts. So, I don't blame him for wearing that, right? Or D'Amico Ryans, forget it. Oh my God.
What about Gerard Mayo? What was he wearing?
No, he became schlubby, but that's part of the thing. You have to become schlubby with the Patriots. It's kind of think about it. Parcells, Belichick, Crennel, Weiss, Patricia, McDaniels, all of my guys all became. I became schlubby. All of us became schlubby at some point. So. Yeah,
Schlub City, it's Schlub City, USA.
Yeah, but you've now that you're on TV so much, you've de-schlubbified, right?
Yeah, right. That's a good way of saying it. I have de-schlubbified. Not according to Mark Chmura, who annihilated my appearance this morning.
What did he say? I didn't get a chance. I think our great producer, who's in the office, ready to work today, I think he has that cut. Do you, Jess?
Jess?
Sure do.
All right, let's hear it.
You are. Evan should worry more about stop being a pretty boy on TV and just worry about content.
Well, now we got to send this
really,
back to them.
Geez, I'm gross. Some of his stop dressing like you're 22 years old. Dress like you're the age you are.
Wow.
Some of his outfits, I'm like, really?
Is?
He's probably a little younger than me, 50-something. Is that fair?
Oh
my God!
What?
Oh no!
50-something.
Oh no! Well, I've done my work here. He's going to get crushed.
Oh, my gosh.
How old is he?
He's 29, Shoes. Clearly, he's 29.
Once again, weird relationship, Gabe.
Yeah, he abused.
Why was I way off?
So where do you want to start there? You're basically a 52-year-old hippie that dresses like what are those? I don't know what the word is. A young hipster. You're dressing like a hipster.
I don't think I dressed like a hipster at all. So just for factual and clarification purposes, I am 44 years old, and dressing like a 22-year-old, I think that's a compliment. That would deem me to be young and cool dress-wise. I don't think I'm that. I think I'm a 44-year-old dressing like a 44-year-old. What do you think?
I'm not going to jump into fashion. I'm too schlubby. That would be more Jesse now that he's slimmed all down. You're more fashionable than Jason and I are. But you're afraid of Evan.
That's pretty harsh.
That's saying a lot. So either you're wearing
yes, it
free
is.
I'm wearing an
Wisconsin
ESPN
gear.
t-shirt.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, either you're wearing free Wisconsin, between the three of you, free Badger gear, free Oregon gear, or free ESPN Wisconsin gear. Pick which one. It's really the fashion on this show.
Yeah, well, I'm wearing an ESPN Madison partnered shirt, so yes, that's part of the deal, old boy.
Iron Jock.
There you go. Evan, am I crazy to think that Green Bay can go into Philly and win on Sunday?
You're not crazy, but I think it's unlikely. The injuries obviously hurt. I don't think they've had the year that we all thought they were going to have. I think that I'd like to know Packers fans' opinions right now on the coach and the general manager, because it feels like Packers fans are souring a little bit on the coach, more so than they did a year ago at this time. And I'm not suggesting they should be sour on him in any way, shape, or form. I just look at this and think, I am thinking about this more glass half empty than I am glass half full with the Packers, and I've been half full with them most of the year.
Look, this is exactly why, I mean, other than you and Tausch going 12 rounds every time you're on and getting the inside stories of your dinners and the relationship that you two have, this is why I love having you, is because I think that we tend to not see the forest for the trees, because this is the team that we are so focused on. So having that national perspective is what I'm always curious about. And I'd be curious, since you brought this up, what kind of feeling do you think, based on what other fan bases have for their coach and general manager, are Packers fans overreacting in their negativity toward their power structure?
Great question, Jason.
Thank you very much.
No, because, Jason, I got to be consistent with what I've said on our show, on Sportsmanlike, 5A to 9A, every morning, and on your show. And that is, I look at Mike Tomlin as a phenomenal head coach, and any team would be lucky to have him. And Tausch comes back with not an argument against what I just said, but an argument with the postseason success, right? Mm-hmm. So to me, that would be the same thing with now Lefleur. He's done a great job in Green Bay, but we are 1 year away from us questioning whether or not somebody could Buck Showalter it. What do I mean by that? Buck Showalter was a manager in Major League Baseball for a long period of time, and a really good one at that. He was a manager of the Yankees. They get rid of him. The next year, they win the World Series. He was a manager with the Diamondbacks. They get rid of him. The next year, they win the World Series. He was a manager with the Texas Rangers. They get rid of him. They go to 2 World Series. He was a manager of the Orioles. They get rid of him. They're now good. He's the guy that gets you right there but doesn't get you over the hump. And I think we're a year away from Lefleur being questioned as that guy. While that's unfair, we are a year away from that question being fair to then ask, not to actually implement anything or do anything, but to simply say, is he the guy that's going to get you? Is he Mike McCarthy with the Cowboys and not Mike McCarthy with the Packers?
No, is he Doug Collins with the Bulls?
Okay, that's another good one. Yeah. And Doug Collins was a very good coach. Michael Jordan hired him after with the Wizards, right? So it's obviously Michael thought he was good. He's just not Phil, right? But again, to have presenting a problem, you need to present a solution. Unless you're getting the aforementioned Mike Tomlin, I don't have a head coach that would be like, oh, yeah.
They're saying the same thing about Mike Tomlin in Pittsburgh now, though.
And it's crazy. And it's crazy.
Is it?
It is absolutely. Yes.
Why?
Because you have to. Okay. The problem with Mike Tomlin, and hear me out on this, and I don't think this is the case in Matt Lefleur. The problem with Mike Tomlin is that he's too good to get really good. What I mean by that is you give him Evan playing quarterback, Mark on the offensive line, and Jason as the wide receiver with Jesse as the tailback. Somehow he's getting us in the playoffs, and then we're never close enough to get a franchise quarterback. Because he's so good, they're never going to be really bad. And thus they can't get a franchise quarterback unless they Brock Purdy it, which there's a reason we know who Brock Purdy is, because it's a once-in-a-lifetime kind of thing, right? So it's almost like the Pittsburgh Steelers need to find somebody worse, not better, in order to get the better quarterback long-term. The Packers, conversely, always have quarterbacks, and they need somebody who's just great in the postseason. Now, there happens to be that guy, and he's at North Carolina. I don't see this all happening. My point overall is LaFleur is great. He's done a great job. This year's been clunky. We're a year away from all of these questions being every day on Wilde And Tausch and not randomly on a Tuesday.
Yeah, I don't think
you're
you can
not
argue
wrong.
that.
So, wait, where do you stand?
Right.
So when you look at
But you want me to lie and say you're an idiot and you got a bad point? Because I can do that too. But
and you do.
You actually brought a good point. What, you want me to tell you it's an idiotic point? I don't know. Evan's mad that we said good job. He's a masochist.
No,
Evan
good.
Cohen is a masochist. You don't want to compliment old boy. He has to compliment himself. But when you compliment him, he gets uncomfortable. Did you notice that?
Right. Yeah, I do. Are you talking to me or Jason?
You. I'm telling Jason. I'm talking through you to Jason about how I think you feel.
So you're talking through me to Jason about how I feel,
Yes.
and I'm responding to you, who's talking to Jason about how I feel with how I feel.
And am I right?
Got it.
Am I right?
By the way,
Am I
let's
right?
deflect. Jesse,
Am I right?
Somewhat.
Okay.
Somewhat.
Thanks.
Jesse, did you pull the audio of Belichick praising the Packers organization yesterday at McAfee?
No.
I'm sure he did. Jesse's on top of all that stuff.
This is the first I'm hearing of it. Sounds fascinating. We should probably listen
Well,
to
why
that.
don't you tell me the name of the movie you want to see? No, Belichick really praised the Packers organization historically yesterday on McAfee, saying that they always find a way to have young players as the majority of their roster and churning out the veterans and re-signing to second and third contracts of right veterans. For years, they've done the same thing. Belichick just really praised them yesterday.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting moving forward with Goody, how many third contracts there even are. I think he's
already. The Kenny Clark one is interesting. I was shocked that they gave Kenny that deal. And I saw a bunch of articles on Packers Twitter yesterday showing his stats, showing where it's at, and they're saying, it's already. And I just wonder if that makes. And Kenny Clark has been a great Packer.
No doubt. Walter Payton nominee as well.
You wonder if he is already thinking, I don't know, Jim. We shouldn't have done that.
I just remember.
Can I ask you guys a question on this, though?
Of course.
So just to kind of circle back and combine everything we've said, including what you just were talking about in the roster. You asked the question, could we see them potentially going into Philly and winning? And I said, I don't see it happening as of now. Let's say they do. The next round is against the Lions. What is, right, if I'm not mistaken, automatically?
You're correct. If Green Bay wins,
correct.
they'll go to Detroit. Yep. Saturday night would be my guess.
So what's better for them? To just get eliminated this weekend and, chalk it up to an injury-plagued year? Or to then win this weekend, hopes up, go to the Lions,
Always
and
win.
never beat anybody in the division all year?
Always win. Always win.
Yeah.
Is that a real question?
He wants you to not crush him because we agreed with him earlier.
Yeah, he likes
what he's trying to do here.
And I get it. I understand
I'm
Evan
going to
Cohen.
tell you something.
Go ahead.
I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you.
Tell me something.
Here's why.
Yeah.
If you make it to the second round, you can't chalk it up to an injury-plagued season. If you're the 7th seed and you lose to the Eagles, you chalk it up to an injury-plagued season. If you lose in the second round, then it's you fall short.
They haven't been that injury-plagued. They just lost Christian Watson.
I mean, they're literally – and Jordan Love is hurt.
Jordan Love missed 3 games. They're not. This is not an injury-plagued season.
He's hurt now, no?
Well, he's got a
You wouldn't
hand.
look at it with the
He's got an
funny
ulnar
bone?
nerve. That gets. He's going to be fine. Is this Jason? Has this been an injury-plagued season for the G&G?
It is not. I mean, obviously, Jair Alexander has missed most of the year. Now they've lost Christian Watson to this injury, but he was healthy for most of the year. The Jordan Love situation, I don't expect, based on what Jordan said and what Lefleur said, that this will be an issue. He could have gone back into the game. He had feeling back in his hand. Their fear was that if he somehow, against all odds, got hit on that elbow again, that nerve can shut down, and then it takes like a week for it to reawaken.
That's a funky nerve, huh?
It's a funny bone,
I mean,
not funny.
That is a fickle deal, huh?
Luke Fickle deal. So, Evan, I want to go back to something you said, though, because, especially given your respect for Belichick,
right.
I had a conversation with Goody last year during the offseason, right after the season ended, and I asked him, you always said that this is a young man's game. Did what happened this year, how did that affect how you view that view? Because, look, he went against what he believed. Right? By keeping Rodgers, by paying a lot of older guys to stay, to keep the band together in 21, trying to pull it off, to do it again in 22 and then have it fail. And he said he's more convinced than ever that you have to always be young and that you have to live through the growing pains early in the season. And even if you're losing games, it's worth it in the end. So I don't think that they will ever be a team that has a bunch of third contract guys on the roster while Goody is the GM. And that leads me to the question, what does that make your margin for error in terms of winning a title? Or are you always going to be good to really good but not quite good enough unless you catch lightning in a bob?
Let me jump in here before Evan goes. I also think, so very fair point, but don't you also think his two best players this season were both big money free agent acquisitions? Don't you think he's going to look, but still, he is going to look at, it has always been promote from within and sprinkle. I think you look at it now and you go. He had just had two monster home runs. His MVP on offense and on defense were acquired in early March through a big money contract. And don't you think when you have success, you think, I'm going to replicate that moving forward? Evan, what say you?
Yeah, I think it's an interesting question because basically what you're saying to me is, do you want to get, is there a way you can guarantee yourself, let's call it between 9 and 12 wins, literally every year, but you never actually win a Super Bowl or win a Super Bowl and then ride a roller coaster where there are going to be some years where you have 4 wins? That's kind of what you're asking, is it not? That Packers fans can go into every single year knowing we are going to be really, really, really competitive, and we're never going to have a year.
You want the bites at the apple.
Worry about who's in the draft.
Yeah, we've had this discussion.
We're never going to have to sit there and watch Shador and Cam Ward, or watch Drew Aller and Arch Manning next year.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to always watch Jordan Love or Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre.
Last year would have been that year, and we came out of it quicker than I think everybody, including the general manager, anticipated.
No doubt.
And now there is no going back. It is, we're only moving forward. And when you have the quarterback that you believe you have, you run it and you just keep rolling. And
Tausch, you just said something very interesting. And I think this is probably an easy way. Well, this is an easier way than we've done to label what's going on, and it clarifies something for me. Last year, then, was year 0. This year is year 1. Next year is year 2. Because you're saying what happened was last year was supposed to be a negative year.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Or maybe I got the numbers backwards. But last year was supposed to be a negative year, and then it all starts this year. But last year was really the first year. This is really the second year. So they're actually a year ahead of schedule, is what you're saying. Maybe I got that wrong, actually,
No,
how we look at it.
you are, but I think things change, right? When you exceed expectations, that doesn't mean you can revert back and say, well, that's just not how the sports world works. And I know that's not how it works.
Yeah, but you exceeded expectations last year. You arguably, if they lose on Sunday or Saturday, whenever the game is, you arguably overachieved last year. Then you would underachieve.
I would
this
think
year,
it would be close to being flat. I don't know. Some would say underachieved, but you're a 7 seed. The division.
You don't think if they lose third place? If I told you before the season, forget record.
Yep.
7 seed win the division, first-round exit.
Disappointing.
No Packer fan is thinking.
No, I said disappointing.
And Jordan Love, not even in consideration for MVP.
Right, and that's why it's not year zero, because it was year zero when it started. But when you exceed expectations, you don't get to undo those.
You jump a
the
year.
Expectations then are there.
It's a leap year, if you will.
If you will,
it's a leap year,
indeed. And look,
which is why next year starts all the conversations of they better win.
Yeah,
there is no doubt about that.
You're right about that.
Great point.
I know we're not supposed to say that. I know we're not supposed to say that.
Evan, really good job today. Good boy. Good boy.
Well, okay, so here's now you're treating me like literally like a dog? Really?
Dog of the game, yeah.
Roll.
You were the dog of this segment. What? You want me to encourage our partnership with
sit dog training? We don't train co-hosts, wives, or kids.
All right, so then here's what it is. Next year, if we're assuming 1-1 in the playoffs this year, right? Next year, what are musts for everything to stay as is for the 25-26 season? These are the things that then must happen with this Green Bay Packers team, assuming health. Jordan Love must be a top 5 finisher in the MVP. They must win the NFC North. They must go to the NFC Championship or beyond. And Matt Lefleur must finish in the top 5 of Coach of the Year.
No.
Those are realistic expectations, and all of those must happen.
No. That's too much. I would say this. You're looking at Detroit. I'm not saying you even have to win the division. Detroit is not going anywhere. I don't care. I don't care if Matt LaFleur is in the top 3 Coach of the Year. Who gives a rip?
Okay, all right. Wait a minute now, because
I think take that one out. Take that one out.
Yeah, take that one out.
That's
because I think
embarrassing
Evan,
that you even brought that up.
I think Evan. Yeah, okay.
Embarrassing. Wow.
No.
Okay, it's been a roller coaster. I got to say.
You're not even the top 5 right tackles on the radio from the Packers in the 2000s.
Oh, I disagree.
Oh, snap.
I would disagree with that.
I love the Alan Barber show on ESPN Beaver Dam.
It's ESPN Missouri.
Marshall Newhouse and Jesse Nelson.
Marshall Newhouse would be good.
Right after Jim Matt
He'd
Molly.
be good.
Nelly and Newhouse.
He's doing some stuff now, too.
Good.
Could I just... your list was really good, I think, because the Lions are going to have some guys that they need to pay. They're going to lose Ben Johnson as their offensive coordinator. What's that going to do to their offense? There's going to be... If you expect the Packers to elevate, you expect them to compete for the division title, not finish 3 games behind the Lions.
You just lost by 4 games and you took 3rd place in a division.
Right, and you lost all your division games except 1. You would certainly expect them to be better there. You would expect them with $60 million in cap. No,
I get it. I understand it. But, Jason, this isn't – there's 30% roster turnover every year. So every year stands on its own narrative.
Not when you have so many guys. Not when you have – we just talked about this. Not when you have so many guys.
Green Bay's roster will be 20 or 25% turnover, period.
All right. I just think it's worth pointing out when you look at their free agent list of guys that would be turning over, I don't see a whole lot of names here that I'm like, oh, that's tough that they're going to potentially lose this guy. Eric Stokes, A.J. Dillon, Corey Ballantyne, Josh Myers, who I do think is a good center. Not a great center, but a good center. Andre Dillard, Zane Anderson, T.J. Slayton. They're going to have most of their team back next year. I think Evan made a great point, even though he doesn't want us to tell him that.
Great job.
All right, then let's finish with this to go full circle. You mentioned the turnover.
Jeff Hafley going to be the coach of Jacksonville? I just see somebody text that. That's what you were talking about this morning?
Well, CC's put that out there. Yeah, the idea, Candy's put that out there. Because what we did was we went through every job and kind of built the prototype of, like, what they should be looking for. And his whole thing was they should hire, and I agree with it. Like, I think they should ignore that Trevor Lawrence is on the team with the hire. I think Trevor Lawrence should be awesome. Hire a defensive guy.
He's kind of a coach killer, isn't he? Isn't he becoming a coach killer? Trevor Lawrence.
Right, but also remember, so CC's whole point is hire a defensive guy, up and coming, who's had experience, but also he was with Trent Baalke in San Francisco. That was CC's connection there.
That's pretty good.
Anyway. Yeah, we were talking about turnover.
Trent Baalke is a survivor. You don't put him on Prope's show because he ain't losing. If Trent Baalke goes on Survivor Prope's show, he is winning. I don't know how he's done it. He outlasted Harbaugh. He outlasted Urban Meyer. He outlasted Doug Peterson. How has he done it? I'm legitimately asking.
Mike Singletary.
You know, he's a Rosendale guy, Baalke. Rosendale. Did you know that? Speed trap capital of the world. Rosendale. Yeah.
Laconia High School.
I was going to say.
Is that right?
Well, I was going to say, since we're talking about turnovers, would you rather a turnover or baked Alaska? What would you rather? One dessert.
Which one's got the candied salmon in it?
How fluffy is it, and is there raspberry or blueberry in there?
I feel like there were some really good moments during this conversation, and I feel like they got a little steamrolled.
By you?
Yeah, by me. Yeah, by me.
Evan putting on there that Matt Lefleur needs to be a top 5 coach of the year next year is.
Yeah, but
you totally sidetracked.
Jason's right. You're focusing on that one thing. When I give you a great
this
thing
happens
that you
all
can,
the
that you can play on every show today. Show. Play it.
There's no margin for error with him.
Every show. Give my breakdown every show. You know, give it to Jim, Matt, and Molly. KBN won't play it. They hate me. They're afraid of me, that crew.
Yeah.
Give it to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. They're obviously.
They're not afraid of you. All right, I do think we'll run that audio in the 11 o'clock. All right, that's good. All right, Evan, get out of here. What are you breaking our clock for again? Let's go.
Me?
Yeah.
Jesse. Stop worrying about volleyball recruiting and get the Packers audio.
Did we get a good libero? Did we get that libero we were looking for?
Unsure.
Bye,
Jesse,
Evan.
put some money into it. Put some money into it, Jesse.
He's not the best. He's not the best halftime host of all time for nothing.
He's the only halftime host.
I don't even know what
we call it. Intermission.
Anybody want to make a wager? Jesse is not doing the post-game show for volleyball next year. I'll make a wager that he's not. Anybody? Jason?
Why?
I just don't think he's gonna. I think it was a lot more work than he thought. That's what I think happened. Jesse, am I
just
crazy?
Take more time off of our show. Evan, we got to go. Thanks.
Yeah.
Great segment by Evan there.
Well, it was at times.
I feel like someone was playing defense against him there.
Who?
We'll discuss whether Matt Lefleur should be a top 5 coach in the NFL Coach of the Year balloting in 2025 next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance. All day, every day. The Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit fighting to save lives, protect our climate, and strengthen our economy through the shift to zero emissions. Visit us at earthjustice.org. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
This is Monster Jam. Get ready for massive stunts, crazy skills, featuring Gravedigger, El Toro Loco, Sparkle Smash, and more. Big time fun for the whole family. Monster Jam, as big as it gets. Coming to Fiserv Forum for 3 huge events, January 10th through 11th. Brought to you by BKD Tires.
Who's looking for a deal? Well, Cousin Subs has a better deal just for you. Cousin's new $10 meal deals are now available online only. Choose between a 7.5-inch ham and provolone, turkey breast, or veggie sub, a bag of chips or regular fry, a regular fountain beverage, and cookie at cousinsubs.com or on the mobile app for just $10. Now that's a better deal. Cousin Subs, we believe in better. Available at participating locations only. Offer subject to change without notice.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman, here to tell you about my friends at Bank 5-9. Everywhere I go throughout the area, I see Bank 5-9, and it's no wonder why. Not only do they have 14 branch locations, but their employees spend nearly 9,000 hours each year volunteering in the communities that they serve. That's on top of the financial support that they provide to several hundred nonprofits right here in southeastern Wisconsin. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check them out today at bank59.com. Member FDIC.
Is it time to buy an engagement ring?
Or a big anniversary diamond?
Kessler's has diamonds that come from diamond mines.
And we also have diamonds that come from plasma chambers.
When you see the size of the diamond you can afford when you look at our high-tech newborn created diamonds,
You're going to be happy, happy, happy.
and with approved credit, our financing plans make anything possible.
Our selection of engagement rings is beyond compare.
And our custom design department can modify any ring in any way you choose.
Anyone who says they can give you a better ring
Or a better diamond.
Or a better price
has never been to Kessler's.
And our miraculous no small print warranty says,
If you bought it at Kessler's, it's guaranteed.
It's just that simple.
And all maintenance is free forever.
No charge.
yes, it really is that miraculous.
You found a partner you want to share your life with.
When you're ready to celebrate,
we've got a diamond for that.
Find the Kesslers nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
For your little ones and your biggest joys, for your forever true and your fur kids too. For all the reasons you smile, get covered with dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of Wisconsin and Delta Vision. Support your overall health so you can be your best for those who matter to you most. Call John Saganiak Jr. John Saganiak Jr., Saganiak Planning, 262-783-6161. Saganiak Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service. The Saganiak Planning Marquette Records. Best season ever at Marquette, easy. National championship in 77. But Al McGuire always said it wasn't his best team. Winning percentage stat would agree. 70-71, they were 28-1. 75-76, they were 27-2. Losses of note to Ohio State in the NCAA tournament and to Indiana, the last team to go unbeaten. Saganiak Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
As always, to Evan Cohen, who was great during that segment.
I interrupted him too much, but what were the other 4 points that he said? Win the division, which
my God.
I don't think that's a fair assessment.
Reach the NFC Championship
That's
game
pretty
or
big.
further.
Okay.
Jordan Love, top 5 in the MVP balloting. Because that would indicate he'd had a great season.
Yeah.
Look, I think we can save what should our expectations be for 2025.
That's not ready for now yet.
For once the season is actually over. But I thought he made some very good points in terms of if you are incrementally moving up the charts and your program is making progress, then the expectations do go up. And look, I don't know what Detroit's going to look like next year, but Ben Johnson seems to be a pretty important piece of what they do. And if he's a head coach somewhere else, they are going to have to figure out how to make all that stuff work. And there will be an acclimation period for them too. But they should at least be going down to the final weekend like the Vikings did this year for the division. I think that's reasonable. That's the next step. And yeah, they finished third. They won 11 games. I'm super intrigued by next year, but let's see what happens on Sunday in Philly. Because I'm not saying that they can't win. I don't think they will win. That is my opinion. But we will wait and see. Your opinion. Dave and Aaron informs us that candied salmon is great. Also, the Packers will go.
I can see candied salmon being good, for sure.
Yeah, I can't say I've ever had that, I don't think. I do like salmon. What you like is Coors Light. Candied Blue Mountains?
Ooh, I just love Coors Light brewed with that 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filtered, and it is cold packaged, so it's made to chill and make sure those mountains are blue. We saw the lovely Nelson crew up at Lambeau. They were enjoying it. Their mountains were blue. It was chilled to perfection. Celebrate responsibly, Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
We'll kick off the 10 o'clock hour next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Kevin Moret for Mentality. Guys, carrying extra belly fat can make you feel frustrated and self-conscious. And let's face it, it changes how others see you. Most new Mentality clients start at only 1/3 of the free testosterone they need, which makes losing that stubborn fat a real struggle. Our doctors specialize in restoring free testosterone and combining it with semaglutide, which targets fat while keeping your muscle. Feel confident in your look again. Visit mentalityhealth.com/radio for a new year offer and get started today. That's mentalityhealth.com/radio.
August 16th, 2024, Elite Media for American Family Insurance at ID YALM 4181000. Spot title, Family Radio. 30 seconds, radio full mix.
Life's better with American Family Insurance. Because whether it's a family road trip in your dream car or hosting a family reunion in your dream home, we help you feel protected so you can enjoy those dreams with peace of mind. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
It's time for the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart, located at 16th and National in Milwaukee. National Liquor Mart is packed with deals for all your beverage needs, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily.
The Bucks snapped their two-game losing skid following a 128-104 victory over the Toronto Raptors north of the border. Giannis notched his fourth triple-double of the season in the win. Finished with 11 points, 12 rebounds, and a career-high 13 assists in just 28 minutes of action.
Taurean Prince throws it inside for the cutter. Caught by Giannis, throws it in. Left-handed dunk to get him the triple-double tonight. Giannis with the catch and slam, and it's 92-68.
Damian Lillard added a game-high 25 points in 25 minutes on 5 of 8 from three-point range. The 18-16 Bucks back home at Fiserv Forum Wednesday night as they welcome in the San Antonio Spurs to the Brew City.
This has been the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart.
Marquette Hall of Famer Tony Smith here. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. Full of questions that old T has about this team as it heads into Philadelphia. But I was listening to Jesse do a Sports Center on ESPN Madison. The ACL tear is confirmed for Christian Watson. I know that Ian Rappaport reported that there was also other damage. So I went back. Because, look, the timing of this sucks on multiple levels. Certainly it sucks for the Packers, who are going against the team that allowed the fewest pass plays of 20 or more yards of any team in the National Football League last season, or this season, 35. And now they're going to try and go against that defense without their biggest play receiver. Now, this will segue into your question that I know you've got holstered about Jaden Reed and what has happened to him. We'll get to that coming up. But from a individual perspective, the ACL tear comes at the worst possible time for Christian Watson.
No, it could be worse. Could have been next year at this time.
Well, you speak from experience.
Yeah, so listen, man, it sucks. There's no doubt about it, but this isn't the worst time. The worst time would be next year. This will give him an opportunity to come back and hopefully play half of the season next year on the last year of his deal and then show that he's back. That will give him more than if you're going into free agency with a blown-out knee. So it never is a good time. Obviously, I was unfortunate and had a couple of bad timing issues.
Yeah.
Christian, this will be a case where, hey, rehab, get back, try to get back for the second half of next season and ball out and show that you've recovered from it, and this will just be a blip on his radar.
Great correction, because you're 1,000% right, and you lived it. That said, I don't think, if I remember correctly, didn't we see this play out to some degree with Robert Tonyan? Ended up taking a one-year deal, and Robert Tonyan went from being like, "Oh my God, he's the next George Kittle,"
but I wasn't sure
to out of the league.
If we're being honest, I mean, at this point, was Christian Watson going to get a mega deal from Green Bay?
No, and that's why I think it's interesting because, look, I looked up T.J. Hawkinson's timeline because I remember him on that low hit by Kirby Joseph getting hurt late last season. That was on Christmas Eve. Okay, now he also tore the MCL, and his doctors waited until the MCL had healed to a significant degree before doing the surgery.
Yep.
So his surgery was on January 29th. Missed all of the offseason, missed all of training camp, missed the first 7 games, was activated and played on November 3rd. He played 10 games this season. So that is what potentially, as you pointed out, Christian Watson can do.
Yep.
But having gone through it yourself, you know better than anyone that when you first return, you're not yourself. And especially, no disrespect to you, but you didn't run a 4.36 like
Neither
he
did you.
Well, sick burn, bro.
Wow.
You understand the point.
I do.
Your position was different.
It was. I'm
what
just
can you
telling you. I
expect
want to
from
make.
him?
I want to make sure that we're all on the same page here, and it does suck, but this is a much better scenario than if this happened next year at this time for him.
Yep.
So, a couple of things I want to say because I know ESPN Wisconsin. We clipped some stuff up about Watson, injury prone. If you had to label it, you'd say he's injury prone. I know he played in a bunch of games. I know. I was quoted yesterday, did you count on him? The fact that he got hurt a couple weeks ago made me think that it was going to be tough sledding for him to be really impactful coming back. It's unfortunate how it played out, but I just want to make sure from my perspective, I want to say Christian Watson deserves a ton of respect from Packer fans and from everybody involved because, and I thought that one of the clips was, I don't want to say it was being disrespectful, it was being honest, but I think we sometimes forget about some of the things that Christian Watson has done and what kind of teammate he's been. And the fact that he went out and played, not being 100%, because Romeo Doubs wasn't available, tells you all you need to know about Christian Watson. Yeah. How he handled the Romeo Doubs situation throughout that timeline when he just, whatever happened, where Romeo just didn't show up. He has shown his leadership. All of that's great. It's going to come back to can he run as fast and can he do the stuff that he needs to do to come back and play. And I hope he can because this season, I've always been a Christian Watson fan. I think he brings, Jesse has poo-pooed him the whole time. I think he brings another level to this offense with that speed. And I'll never forget in Chicago a few years ago when he had that Randy Moss edition of his rookie season where he was scoring touchdowns at that clip. He's outrunning angles that nobody should be able to outrun in the NFL. He is a difference maker when he was healthy. But I just want to make sure Packer fans realize what this cat did and how his leadership, he elevated into that leadership role.
He did.
And was absolutely fantastic. So this sucks. There's not a doubt in my mind, and I heard Lefleur say this too, that he is going to attack this rehab. You get through this dark period where it's all doom and gloom and everybody talking about, is he going to be able to come back? All that stuff's going to be a part of your rehab. But my guess is he is going to attack this. What does Jim Harbaugh always say? With the volition of something. He is going to attack it.
Great quote. I love that quote.
It'd be nice if you guys would chip in and help, but I'm not going to.
So just to be clear,
yeah.
You come up with a quote you
Jim
don't
Harbaugh's
know,
quote.
and then you're irritated that we don't know what it is.
You poo-poo me, and then I'm like,
who's got it better than us?
It's not really the one. It's something about attacking every day with something. It would be great. It'd be nice if you guys would chip in. I understand. I'm putting you in a tough spot. But anywho, that's what Christian wants.
Attack each day with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind.
Thank you. That's what I was looking for. I appreciate you helping me.
I have never heard that from him ever.
It's a great quote, and it's exactly what I believe Christian Watson's going to do. So I just want to make sure.
It's not a great quote.
It's a fantastic quote.
It's a fine
Attack
quote.
each day with enthusiasm. Great.
Maybe you should start doing that.
Unknown to mankind.
Yes. Maybe. When's the last time you attacked a day with enthusiasm to mankind? When's the last time?
We are mankind. How can we have an enthusiasm?
Whatever his
don't
quote
know.
was. When is the last time you enthusiastically?
We are mankind.
Yeah, when you got up out of bed and said, "I am going to attack this blanking day and I'm going to win." When's the last time you did that?
I attack every day with enthusiasm.
Not with enthusiasm of mankind. I don't know.
Attack most
A lot
days.
of times you come and you're half showered. You don't even know. Like my point
My
is,
appearance is not the same as my
I'm
mentality.
just saying. You're telling me one thing. I'm telling you, Christian Watson is going to attack this in a big way, and I'm excited that he is going to be able to come out of this and do it. And I wanted to make sure, because I felt like yesterday I was a little more dismissive than I wanted to portray. I didn't expect him to be.
Did you get clipped out of context?
No. It was. Listen, I said what I said, and I didn't expect a ton from him moving forward because he was injured, and it was a couple weeks ago. I just want to make sure. My point on Christian Watson is he is a vital part to this group. He brings a whole nother level, and I respect the blank out of him for how he handled the Dobbs situation and taking on that leadership role and sucking it up to go try to play. I respect the heck out of it, even though it's probably ended up being a bad business decision. There ain't many guys like that anymore. I think Christian Watson's a throwback. He's not a gen whatever. He is an old school cat, and I respect the heck out of him. And I have now become even a bigger fan of Christian Watson coming back and shoving it up Jesse and everybody else's face that thinks that he's not an important part to this group. That's my speech. I just attacked
You really
that.
attacked that with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind. Beat ya. Look, I think you're wrong about what he could have been in this game because it was a bruised knee. He was close enough for the.
Still can't believe they played him.
I went after. I don't want to say I went after Matt Lefleur. That's too strong. But I circled back on that because, to me, I even said, why didn't you just go with 4 wide? Couldn't you have just gone with 4 wideouts and 4 tight ends active? And he said there was a lot of discussion. He said that Christian Watson came to them on Friday and said, "Hey, if I practice today, can I be up on Sunday?" And then when Romeo Dobbs was inactive, the spot opened, Matt Lefleur said. But again, if he was iffy on that, and they were only going to... I think the lesson should be, if you're considering playing a guy on limited snaps, don't do it. If that's the circumstance that you're going to play him, because that was the plan with Jair Alexander.
No, we said we
happened.
wanted Jair to play against the Saints to get a little bump so he could play against the Vikings. You would have been all in if that's what would have happened.
I'm just saying it has not worked out now twice in a row when they've done that. If it's iffy, play the high side of caution, as Matt Lefleur,
if it's
Mike
iffy,
McCarthy
you should have come
used to
up
say.
with something a little more catchy because iffy's an easy word to rhyme.
If it's iffy, don't be spiffy.
I don't know. I'm gonna
don't make
hardball
a
you. I'm not
decision
gonna help
in a
you.
jiffy.
There you go. Be thorough and deliberate with your decision making. Don't be jiffy.
Consult
Unlike
your old
ever
pal
seen
Cliffy.
before.
Oh, Cliffy now.
Speaking of iffy, how's that Prize Picks thing going for you?
I had a tough day on Sunday, but I'm going to get back on that horse because Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. Over 10 million members and billions of dollars in award winnings. Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to everybody, and it's simple. Pick more or less on at least 2 players. You got all this great playoff football coming. Oh, baby, am I excited. I'm going to attack that with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind, and you can win up to 1,000 times your cash. 1,000 times your cash. Just watching the playoffs. Turn your sports opinions. You have an opinion. Houston stinks. Well, then go with Harbaugh and the boys from the Chargers. That's up to you. You do that. PrizePicks now offers MasterCard for quick and easy deposits into your account. PrizePicks is the best way to win that real money throughout the season and make your picks in less than 60 seconds. Turn your sports opinions into that cash and download the app today. Use code WI. You get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, download the app. Use the code WI. You get $50 instantly after you play that first $5 lineup. PrizePicks.
Run your game.
Good enthusiasm. That was good. Good enthusiasm.
Unknown to mankind. We will get to some of Tausch's questions he has about the Green Bay Packers, if he remembers them. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. All day, every day, the Carbless talk and text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless talk and text line. This is more.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today.
Beer District, a cool entertainment center. Look into your crystal ball. How feasible is this?
Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
Could this happen?
Of course. I'm betting that it does. Kind of surprising is that it hasn't happened already.
Weekday afternoons from 3 to 6 on WTMJ.
Looking for the most popular answer. What's the worst thing about Wisconsin winters? Gina Della from Pella.
Finding a sitter when snow closes school. Yay! It's the time of the year when we just want to be all warm and snuggly at home. And Pella helps make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. With inviting doors to let friends and family in and beautiful energy-efficient windows to keep the cold out. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply.
Elevate your game day gear or any outfit with official merchandise from the Milwaukee Bucks Pro Shop. From authentic jerseys to exclusive apparel and accessories, the Bucks Pro Shop has everything you need to showcase your fandom wherever you go. Cheer the deer to victory with authentic Milwaukee Bucks items. Visit us at the Bucks Pro Shop at Fiserv Forum or Bayshore Mall, or shop online at shop.bucks.com.
Do you want to have more fun watching the NFL playoffs? Try playing Sleeper Picks. Just download the Sleeper app today and pick more or less on at least 2 players' projected stats. You can win up to 100 times your cash. For a limited time, Sleeper has a special offer. New users have to just play $5 and they'll receive $55 in free entries. Just download the Sleeper app today and use code BRAD, B-R-A-D. Must be 18 years or older. Promo code, location, and other restrictions apply. Minimum deposit $25. See terms of use for details. Please play responsibly. Call 1-800-426-2537 for help.
Whether you're an artist playing accountant, a barista trying to be a bean counter, or a student just looking to get started, the UW Credit Union app lets you be free to be you. With free credit scores, free online bill pay, and the ability to send money to friends. Because with fewer fees, you can do more of what you love. UW Credit Union, here for every you. Join today at uwcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Hey ESPN Milwaukee fans, Gary Austin here from our friends at Best Electric Service. An A-plus Better Business Bureau family owned and operated who have been serving you for over 50 years. No job is too big or too small, whether it's making panel upgrades to your home, new LED in lighting, electric vehicle charging, and all residential service calls. Best Electric provides quality service at fair prices. They are experienced and licensed electrical contractors ready to get to work. Connect with the Best Electric Service. Find out more at bestelect.com.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Got
All right, Tausch has got some questions. How do I sound? Do I sound any different?
What, did you change mics or what?
Well, so Dennis and Plover got me. I don't know. I don't want to call these what I called them off the air to Jesse. Microphone covers.
What'd you call them off the air?
Well, that's something that you would put on top of something else as a protective layer.
An umbrella.
Very interesting.
That's not what I went with.
Rain jacket.
Indeed. I see that, speaking of those, I see that David Bakhtiari apparently has a new partnership with one of those companies, which I won't mention because it's not Baskin-Robbins. Be that as it may, I just wanted to know, do I sound any different? Because now I got my microphone covered up.
Not really.
Okay. Good.
Sounds the same to me.
Great. I do have questions that I need to answer from you because you apparently have questions for me. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that. I sent some clips over to Jesse in like a show prep type deal, but no, I mean, I'm obviously interested in a few things. How did it go yesterday with you and figuring out why the passing game stinks? Where's Jayden Reed? Those are the two big questions I think I had. I'm sure there was something else that I'm forgetting, but those are 2 points that I'm very intrigued by what NVIDIA is doing with all their AI chips and what that's going to look like, but I don't think I sent you that one. Was that on the text?
It was not one of the questions.
I sent that to somebody else. Okay.
Hard to keep track of all of your texts that you send to people. The passing game...
I'm going to tell you this, though. The world is moving lightning quick. Lightning quick. I'm very nervous. 2025, I think people held off, and now it's going to be like a blank storm. I'm very intrigued to see how this all shakes out.
Whoa, Nelly!
AI, chips, a lot of stuff.
We talk about the Packers playoff game.
Yeah, I brought it up. Jason's sitting here looking like I'm crazy, but I am very intrigued.
Jayden Reed, maybe they can use AI or Grok to figure out how to get him more involved in their offense. He did have that one downfield ball that he caught.
Great adjustment on that one.
He did, yes. He was interfered with, but he still made the catch.
Heath, great adjustment. Our boy, Crafty, great adjustment.
Crafty.
It tells me that maybe we're not throwing as many good balls because a lot of adjustments need to be made.
Well, and that is part of the issue here, right? Is Jordan Love, by his own admission, has been less accurate. His completion percentage actually dropped for the season. Now, again, we can point to playing through injury and that affecting his accuracy then, but that ain't.
Let me ask you
that
this:
ain't it now.
Since this is the Tausch Ask Wilde portion of this program, which I like, has he regressed? According to Jason J. Wilde.
No, I don't think he's regressed.
I think you're afraid of Twitter people coming at you.
No, because I'll say this.
Has he lived up to the expectations that you thought you were going to see from him?
I appreciate the question. He has not progressed as much
isn't
as
that
we...
a regress then?
No.
Okay.
He progressed a small amount instead of a large amount. He made great progress in the second half of last season, and it was not the leaps and bounds that I think I and many others who were putting him in the MVP conversation were anticipating. And I don't think you can just chalk it up to the knee injury in the opener or the groin injury in Jacksonville. I don't think he made as big of a jump as I expected him to, as the Packers expected him to, and most importantly, as big as he expected to. Like, if you asked Jordan Love that same question, did you regress this year? I suppose I could ask it to him at his locker tomorrow. But his response is going to be, no, I don't think I regressed, but I certainly didn't make as much progress as I wanted to this season. I've got a lot more work to do to become the quarterback I know I can be.
So let me ask you this. Okay, Jesse just had this little bar graph deal, like the stock market, right? Where it's... Last year, after the Dallas game, is where he was at his pinnacle. Can we all agree on that? He was up. Let's let's just say like the Dow Jones 5 or the S&P 5. Let's say 6,
until the fourth quarter in San Francisco. I'd even say.
Let's say it's at 1,000 at that point, just to make it easy. So he's up at 1,000. The little mountain looks like a mountain. Where is he at now? Is he at 1,100 because he's progressed, but not to the 1,500 that we wanted? Or is he lower than that? Is he at like 800? Do you get what I'm saying?
I do.
Can we run that, Jesse? Can you put some of those graphics up on the little YouTube?
I cannot. That's not on our video stream.
I wasn't sure if that was accessible.
That is our back end of YouTube telling us how many people are watching at any given time.
I just want to make sure you guys understand, because I think this fits what Jason was just talking about. Because I think your point, I would probably agree with, that he has not. I definitely would agree he has not progressed to the degree. I think we thought he would be in that MVP conversation. He's been nowhere to be found on that, right? I don't know if I would say he's a top 3 NFC quarterback, which last year at this time I said. I did.
Look,
he was there.
In fairness to him, he was playing the position as well as anyone in the league
last year
at the end of the season.
100%.
So... And he this was just a wonky year that, yes, I don't think we can just say that the injuries had no role whatsoever, because that's unfair to him.
I would totally agree with you. He had to fight a lot of stuff, a lot of adversity that he had to overcome, no doubt.
But I also think that there were other components to this. There was hey, I got through my first year. I was pretty damn good in the second half of last season. I'm ready for more. I'm going to take more chances. I'm going to push the envelope a little bit. And sometimes it worked. Sometimes it didn't. I think Matt Lefleur thought, okay, last year we went into the season with no clue in God's green earth what the quarterback and all these young guys he was going to be throwing to were capable of. Now we think we got a good handle on it. Let's take this offense to the next level. And I think they struggled to make the jump with the expansion of the offense and the ideas that they wanted to implement.
Okay.
I think the injuries affected it some, but I think he just was inaccurate for other reasons as well. I think when he was dealing with the injuries, he was inaccurate. And then I think, and again, I don't have any problem asking Jordan this, because one of the great things about Jordan is that, unlike others who I have encountered during my time covering the team,
Aaron Rodgers,
he's not the only one, but he owns his shortcomings, and he owns them publicly. And so if you ask him about, he said his accuracy has been, and I quote, inconsistent this year. That's him saying that. And so why is that? I think part of it too, and again, quarterbacks, you weren't a quarterback. I certainly wasn't. We should have brought Evan back given his quarterbacking background. But I think they start to feel pretty good about what they're capable of, and maybe they get away from the fundamental little details that increase your accuracy that are important, and you start to throw off your back foot. You start to do things because, hey, I'm pretty good. And so you put all that together, and again, I don't think he regressed. And I would love, if you believe that Jordan Love regressed, I would love to know why you think that.
Should we poll it?
I'm not doing for my account, because I don't believe he did.
I don't either.
I just don't think he progressed as much as they needed him to,
he was at
as he was capable of, and as he should have.
Halftime of San Francisco, the pinnacle of where he is at as a Green Bay Packer quarterback. We all agree? Just got done whomping the Cowboys, played great. He's at 1,000 on the stock index. Where's he at now?
Yeah, 1050.
I like this more. Jesse, I would like this, and I don't know if you can illustrate this in poll form. If you could do a rolling poll that shows the mountain or the movement of it, that would be diabolical.
You basically just want the yodeling guy.
I do like the yodeling guy.
From Price is Right.
I don't think many Packer fans are going to say that he's anywhere close to where he was in that pinnacle of the 1,000, if he's at the 1,000. I just don't think many Packer fans are going to feel that way.
Yeah. Again,
He has not. Can someone tell me 4 quarters that he has played dynamite football this season? In a game.
All right, I'm going through my mental Rolodex of games in which he has been.
Arizona?
Houston and Arizona.
Houston, he stunk. No,
Houston, he threw
Houston was his
right.
worst game of the season.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't his worst game of the season.
Against that defense and understanding the complexities of that game, That was the worst game for me. I know Minnesota people will say, and that's fair.
How do we grade the New Orleans game?
His highest quarterback ratings in games, which is not the end-all, be-all statistic, I understand. Miami, Seattle, Arizona.
Seattle, he played well, I thought.
Yeah. 20 of 27. Miami was 21 of 28, so those would appear to be...
Miami played well. Miami, it was cold. They mailed it in by halftime.
His most accurate games. Arizona threw 4 touchdown passes, 22 of 32 in that game, 68.8% completion percentage. Okay. The Detroit game that they lost... I guess I had forgotten this. You know how many passes he completed in that game?
He played a dynamite second half.
He completed 12 passes.
That's it?
He was 12 of 20.
Just wait, are you talking about the one in Detroit?
Yeah, 34-31.
Oh, he only had, the possessions
not a
were
lot
very
of possessions.
Limited. Yeah.
Indeed.
But he played really well in the second half. Did he not, or am I crazy?
No, punt, Christian Watson fumble, scored every other drive after that, I believe. So, look, I don't... Is he playing right now?
So you got him at 1050 over where he was in the San Fran game last year?
Mm-hmm.
There ain't anybody going to believe that.
Look, the fourth quarter counts too, man.
I just said at halftime is the pinnacle.
Right, so if you have him... Right, but then if you have him at 1,000... And then he goes and throws 2 fourth-quarter picks, including a across his body, late over the middle, into triple coverage with the game on the line on first down.
Yep.
That if we're using the stock market,
but you're missing
his market it plunged after that play.
It did, but you're missing my point. And my point is there any point throughout this season you felt better about Jordan Love than you did at halftime of the San Francisco playoff game?
Yeah, I thought during that run of.
I don't think
Miami,
many Packer fans will. I don't. I don't think Packer fans are feeling, boy, he is back to where he was. Because he had the interception streak throughout the beginning of the season.
Right.
Careless with the football, right? Uh-huh. And then I think he steady eddied it, but there was never any real, people, he's not taking enough chances. And against some of these teams, well, what are we doing? You don't need to. You got to manage games. Understand what you need to do to win. Josh Jacobs running the football. But I don't think anybody's going to sit here and say, where he was last year at that point, all of us were like, holy cats, did we hit the blanking jackpot with this kid. I don't know if people are saying that right now.
I think when he strung together the 49ers, Dolphins, Lions, Seahawks, New Orleans games. I mean, think about when they shut out New Orleans. That was 2 weeks ago. And we were talking about them in such a different manner than we are now after Vikings and Bears. We said that, hey, it's the Saints and they stink and whatever else. But man, he had put together 5 straight games of a 100 passer rating. He still hasn't thrown a pick since the Bears game in Chicago. So I think the way we feel today and the way we feel about how he's played the last 2 weeks has now influenced how we view his season. As it should. But during that time, I was saying he's playing like he was down the stretch last season.
I don't know if I ever felt that way. I felt like he was...
The numbers were almost exactly the same.
He was not from the last 8 games. And I will say this, and somebody put this up on Twitter yesterday as a great reminder. We all have these rosy, glorious recollections of what Jordan was in that last 8-game stretch because he was awesome. And the playoffs obviously amplify that.
I know what you're going to say. I did not forget the games you're about to mention.
Well, mention them then, because that's exactly what I was going to say.
I didn't forget that they got beat by Tommy DeVito.
And Baker.
And Baker Mayfield had a 158.3 passer rating at Lambeau Field.
What we have to continue to remind ourselves of is this is his second year as a starting quarterback. This isn't insta success. There is, some would say, growth is not linear.
Right, but when I was saying that last year, we were getting pushback, right, after the season about how, remember I said, Now defensive coordinators are going to have 19 games of film on him to figure out better ways to defend him. Like, I'm not surprised that he didn't make the big jump that we all wanted him to. But we were crowning him prematurely.
Potentially. I think we can probably say that. I just saw what he did for the majority of the back half of last season, and to step up in the playoffs and play like he did was awesome. And that was what I was hoping we would just see more, and then more. I want when you have a stock, you don't want it just to stay flat. At best, he's been flat this year. At best, in a year where there needed to be growth, but again, he has an opportunity to continue to grow. This isn't going to be – there's going to be dips and valleys with being a quarterback in the NFL. A lot of times now, especially with the amplified media and the way we analyze everything, you're not allowed to do that. And if you notice, Sam Darnold has been able to do it. Baker Mayfield, there's been plenty of guys that have been kind of cast away with the dip. But then they bounce back. And do you reap the benefits of that? Some teams are. And then you have the Cleveland Browns, and you have some of these other teams that are just like, well, it didn't work. Let's go. And then you end up with a quarterback paying him a load of dollars, and he re-tears his Achilles out, and again, blah, 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 blah.
There were about 6 different voices Tausch used during that back and forth. He used that kind of whispering voice. Blah, 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 blah. I'll just use one voice and tell you Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. 414-276-6666. 414-276-6666. David and his team, they're the best, and you don't pay a cent until they win your case. More importantly, they know how to get things done. They've got over 35 years of experience. So make the call. One call, that's all. 414-276-6666. Gruber Law Offices. We'll get to more of Tausch's questions and voices next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcasts for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Patients everywhere are experiencing joint pain relief thanks to QC Kinetics regenerative treatments. So how does this non-surgical approach work? QC Kinetics Medical Director Dr. Aaron Wolkoff explains.
It's like when you get a paper cut, and the cells that come onto that scene first stop the bleeding, and then it recruits more cells to form new skin and new soft tissue. And then you look down a week later, 2 weeks later, and it's like nothing happened, and that paper cut never existed.
In this same way, QC Kinetics uses your natural biologics to help repair and restore aching knees, hips, shoulders, and backs.
We take those same similar cells in different areas that are arthritic, are painful, and we cause this kind of internal self-healing that can resolve patients' pain.
Relief without surgery. See if you're a candidate for QC Kinetics regenerative treatments.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Want that mirror finish on your car? You need Z-Gloss by Z-Bart. Z-Gloss is a 3-layer ceramic coating that not only gives your car that mirror finish, it protects it from everything that Mother Nature can throw at it. Visit zbart.com for more information.
The Packers' 11-game winning streak over the Bears is over after a 24-22 loss at Lambeau Field. However, the big story coming out of the game, the health of Jordan Love. The Green Bay starting quarterback left in the second quarter with a right elbow injury. After the game, Love talked about what happened on the play that caused the injury.
I landed on it on the ground, I think. Just kind of pretty much lost all feeling in my hand and pretty much just went numb.
The Packers will be the 7th seed in the NFC playoffs and will visit the number 2 seed Philadelphia Eagles this coming wildcard weekend.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Who's looking for
a deal? Well, Cousin Subs has a better deal just for you. Cousin's new $10 meal deals are now available online only. Choose between a 7.5-inch ham and provolone, turkey breast, or veggie sub, a bag of chips or regular fry, a regular fountain beverage, and cookie at cousinsubs.com or on the mobile app for just $10. Now that's a better deal. Cousin Subs, we believe in better. Available at participating locations only. Offer subject to change without notice.
Winning in the NFL comes down to the basics, blocking and tackling. In retirement, the certainty of protection and income are the keys to success. And as a former NFL player myself, I have experience with both. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons. Having played on winning teams with the Steelers and Falcons, studying game films helped me mentally prepare for the challenges ahead. Now I star in a new Hollywood documentary called The Retirement Deception to help you visualize and prepare for your fourth quarter of life. You see, you don't retire on your nest egg, but rather the income it can produce. This film shows you exactly how to protect your retirement from stock market drops and produce more income than you thought possible. And it's free for you to view. Call 855-620-1801 right now for your free streaming code to watch The Retirement Deception. Don't risk your retirement savings at the goal line. You don't need to be risky to have a winning strategy. Call today to speak with an all-pro retirement specialist to get your free streaming code to watch The Retirement Deception. Call today. 855-620-1801. That's 855-620-1801. MitchLyonsWealth.com. Your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement.
Hey, this is ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta. Guys, let's talk about something important. You. Taking care of your health and appearance isn't just about looking good. It's about feeling strong, confident, and ready to take on the world. At Quintessa Aesthetic Center, they make it easy. With experts in advanced skincare, body contouring, and anti-aging treatments, Quintessa is here to help you stay sharp and at your best. Trust me, when you look good, you feel even better. So why wait? Visit myquintessa.com and take the first step towards a more confident you.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
I mean, if you remember, our buddy Rob Domofsky, who joins us every Friday, was talking early in the year about the idea of him being a 100-catch guy. Jaden Reed finished with 55 catches.
Who led the team? Who led the team?
He did.
55 was the winning number, huh?
Your Packers leading receivers.
That's what I was hoping for. God, you're good, Jason. You're attacking this with unbridled enthusiasm.
Unknown to mankind. Jaden Reed, 55 catches, 857 yards, 6 tutters.
Okay.
Tucker Kraft, 50 receptions, 707 yards.
Can I just say this? Tucker
7
Kraft,
touchdowns.
Big progression.
No
Big.
doubt. No doubt.
Jaden Reed, regress. We could do a progress-regress game.
You want to play that next?
That could be fun.
Let's play that.
If Hunter's here, we could do a blind progress-regress.
Oh.
That would be cray-cray, though, right?
So,
total craze.
So I came across something that made me think of Hunter last night. I don't know
Gerald Ford autobiography.
It's a Gerald Ford bobblehead.
Oh, you have to get that.
I've put in a bid.
I'm telling you, that is a era in our country's history we should read more about. Telling you, that little era. Let's go.
Well, we won't do that next. Instead, we will do progress. Regress.
Well, can you continue to go down? Because I'm actually fascinated where Josh Jacobs is on that list. I'm guessing where is he at?
Well, wait, are we doing this next? Or
we're not progress and regress. I just want to know where we're at receptions. So Jaden Reed 1. I got to say Dobbs has got to be 3.
All right, so here are, in order of receiving yards, it is Reed, Kraft, Watson, Dobbs, Wicks, Jacobs. And then nobody else is even over 100 yards.
Did this receiving core live up to the expectations we had for it?
That can be part of progress or regress. Your receptions.
I don't think
Reed
did.
55.
And our offense has been. Where are we ranked off? Okay, I don't mean to ask 1,000 questions. Continue.
You go from never asking questions to asking like 50 of them in one breath.
Reaching the quota now.
55 for Reed, 50 for Kraft, 46 for Dobbs, 39 for Wicks, which I think is what he had last.
39 for Wicks? I would have never gotten that.
36 for Jacobs, 29 for Watson, and then Chris Brooks 11, Emmanuel Wilson 11, Malik Heath 10, Bo Melton 8, Luke Musgrave 7, Chipotle Ben Sims 4, Marshawn Lloyd 1, John Fitzpatrick 1.
Fitzy.
Fascinating.
We'll do a little progress or regress next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
The Homer Hour with special guests every day from 5 to 6.
You still had a cigarette lighter in there?
No, we should all be dead.
An ashtray.
They have the station wagons where the people in the back were facing the other direction.
The Homer Hour with Homer.
The Packers got more money than God, so there's in the NFL there's no shortage. Yes, we need fundamentally in the NFL, anything Detroit does, you just assume you can do it better.
Weekdays from 5 to 6, right here on 94.5 ESPN and streaming live on YouTube.
Homer here. I'm inviting you to join me starting August the 9th as we explore the many shades of Ireland with Colette Vacations, a 10-day journey filled with legendary views, historic expeditions, and unforgettable tales. Explore the historic city of Dublin, kiss the famous Blarney Stone, and stand on the spectacular cliffs of Moher. We'll also journey Ireland's breathtaking countryside and follow the stunning coastal route of the Ring of Kerry. We'll experience the daily life of an Irish family with a dairy farm. Visit and enjoy a taste or 2 or 3 at a historic whiskey distillery, and we'll even stay overnight in a medieval castle. Join me for all of these experiences and so many more. Colette handles all the details of the 10-day excursion: flights, the meals, the hotels, the experiences. Don't worry about it. Your only job is to have the time of your life. Don't miss out. Text HOMER to 800-990-3776 for full information. That's HOMER to 800-990-3776.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as 1 business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
ESPN Radio Extra Point with Joe Fortenbaugh.
Anyone with half a sense of how to bet on sports understands that there were plenty of red flags with all the one-score wins. Everyone knew you weren't as good as your record indicated, and everyone knew it was a fluke with Daniel Jones. But you did not. So you decided you're going to give the guy a contract extension, and you're going to try to run it back. That's ego. That's you thinking you got the most out of Daniel Jones, and you're going to be able to fix him. So you made the decision to move forward with Daniel Jones, and then it didn't work. And then you ran it back another year, and it didn't work again, and now we get a reset. So applause to John Mara for the idea that he wants some level of consistency, but we got a 3-year body of work here. It's not an impressive body of work. It continues to get worse. And if I ask you this question, what do you think they would answer with? What's the plan? Because I would love to know what the plan is. It doesn't appear as if there is one.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
We're getting crushed out here. What's going on with you, Nick? You used to be the unstoppable king of flag football.
I'm feeling my age. At 40, I feel like I can't keep up anymore.
Is it lower testosterone?
Lower T?
Yeah. When you turn 40, you have less testosterone. It's harder to stay lean and get the same results you used to get. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I know Nugenix. It really gives you an edge.
No question. At work, the gym, the bedroom, Nugenix turned back the clocks. Now I've got the same energy that I did in my 20s.
I want to try Nugenix.
All right, time out. Guys, go text Nugenix and get yourselves a complimentary bottle to try.
Text SPIRAL to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now, and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever. Absolutely free. Text SPIRAL to 42424. That's SPIRAL to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hey, it's Alex Strofe. The Packers have lost 2 in a row as we get ready for postseason play this weekend. Feeling good about their chances?
Yeah, me too.
It's Packers-Eagles Sunday. We'll get you ready for it as we try to convince ourselves a way the Green Bay Packers can win. Green Bay game day beginning at noon on Sunday.
we're going to do, if you don't mind. We'll do offensive.
Do you think Jaden Reed's happy with how the season went for himself?
I don't.
Question quota.
Oh, too many questions?
No, I love it. Hey, thanks. I appreciate you doing this.
So which wideout do
who
you
are
feel
you
like
and
is
what
the
have you done with
happiest with how
Tausch?
the season went?
I don't think any of them are.
It's almost like that ensemble cast. They didn't have a swimmer. They needed a swimmer to come in and say, we're all going to get paid the same. We're all going to do this. We're going to do this together. And that's just not how the world works.
Did we know that Schwimmer was the guy that did that?
He did. Yeah,
He's
I
the
do know
glue
that.
guy. Yeah.
He was the biggest star coming into this show. And he probably left being
No.
Yes.
No, Matthew Perry was...
No. Schwimmer was like a star on Chicago's Broadway. Like, he was the guy. He started the whole deal. He was the linchpin to getting this whole show going.
All right, he had not been on television as extensively as some others had been, however.
What? Courtney Cox was a bit player in Seinfeld, and you're thinking that's bigger than like being a Broadway star? I don't know.
All right, well,
David Schwimmer, and probably smartly, understanding that Jennifer Aniston is going to be a monster star, said, all right, the six of us, we need to be unified here. So we're all making the same cash, and next thing you know, Schwimmer's, whoop, Jennifer Aniston's up here, and they're making the same money. Schwimmer's looking like a genius.
Has Schwimmer progressed or regressed in Friends?
he was just on GMA this morning because that's what we watch in our house.
He was okay, I think. I think he's had a nice career.
Very good in Band of Brothers.
Fat checks
by the
those
way.
cats still make.
Boy. The Green Bay Packers finished the NFL season 8th in scoring offense. They finished 5th in total offense. Did the offense as a whole progress or regress?
I'll say this. I think the offense progressed.
Because
I
of
think
Josh
Jacobs was a dog. And the running game was a dog.
Mm-hmm.
And the passing game has been, for all of the stuff they've had to deal with, the passing game has been pretty good. It's
12th in passing.
Again, you're palming it, and it hasn't looked great the last couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So that is where our mindset is at. But I don't think the passing game, I wouldn't say it's definitely not as good as it was last year at the end of the season.
They finished 10th in red zone percentage after being 29th at that one point about midway through the season.
Mm-hmm.
So they got that fixed. They were tied for...
That's why this whole Matt Lefleur hot seat fire, like, stats do matter. This group is, like, Matt LaFleur's a good football coach. Is he a little over-emotional for me? Yeah, he is.
Clearly.
But
for you,
when it comes to this stuff, like the numbers this year, and I don't even know, we'll probably get to the defensive numbers tomorrow because we're running out of time.
That's what I was trying to do, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That has been dynamite from Jeff Havley. The DVOA, whatever that means, DVOA, is lightning better than what it was last year.
I believe Rob Domofsky created what became a shirt for the Football Outsiders. Dorks Only Value Analytics is what DVOA stands for.
It's much better than what it was. So the running game definitely progressed from last year.
Okay.
The passing game.
So Jordan Love, flatline, minor progression. Many people will say regression.
Yes.
That's what we agree on?
I think that's a fair assessment.
Right.
Jesse, what do you think? Has he regressed or progressed?
Slight regress, I'd agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't say regress.
That was not one of the choices, but you're allowed to do whatever you want.
You can do whatever you want.
Jaden Reed, regress.
Regress.
Tucker Kraft.
Big progress.
Biggest of the bunch. Yeah.
Yes.
Romeo Dobbs.
Oh, yeah, I'm a regress.
About what I expected, honestly.
Yeah.
He's no Alan Lazard.
No, he kind of is.
Dontavion Wicks.
Progress.
Yeah, I would agree.
Even though he
the
had drop
the drops
sitting.
were an issue.
A lot of drops.
I can't believe he had 39 catches. That's shocking to me.
You thought he had more, or you thought he had less?
When did he get 39 catches?
I don't know. It's just he's a sleepy
He's been
catcher.
steady Eddie for the last 7 games. Quiet production is what got you, because it was not a bunch of big plays that drew your attention. Christian Watson, he progressed.
I think he progressed.
Yeah.
Jesse?
Progressed, but somehow ended up in the same result as I would expect from him.
The injury, not great. Last two on the offensive side of the ball. Bo Melton.
Flat.
Regress.
Caught 8 balls.
Thought he would be
not
better.
a lot of
playoff guy.
opportunity.
I'm going to wait. I'm going to hold off.
He saves it for the divisional round.
Yeah.
PB.
And then obviously Luke Musgrave with the injury.
Big regress.
Yeah. I mean, he's been lapped by Tucker Kraft.
And Chipotle Ben.
Can you not say Chipotle?
Chipotle. Why are we giving Chipotle? Like, what are we doing?
It's Chipotle.
You're a Chipotle.
Thanks for saying it right.
Good one. The 11 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes. It's Wilde And Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde And Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Do you want to have more fun watching the NFL playoffs? Try playing Sleeper Picks. Just download the Sleeper app today and pick more or less on at least 2 players' projected stats. You can win up to 100 times your cash. For a limited time, Sleeper has a special offer. New users have to just play $5 and they'll receive $55 in free entries. Just download the Sleeper app today and use code BRAD, B-R-A-D. Must be 18 years or older. Promo code, location, and other restrictions apply. Minimum deposit $25. See terms of use for details. Please play responsibly. Call 1-800-426-2537 for help.
You wake up feeling like you just boxed 12 rounds. Some wake up sweating with sore jaws, headaches, and a lot of our patients complain of brain fog. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula, and these signs, often joined with snoring, are sleep apnea symptoms. And if this sounds like you may have been in a struggle last night between you and this serious disorder. Many people aren't willing to fight back. But the fact is, you can't go through these nightly struggles without ramifications that each night chip away at your life's expiration date. I get it. You don't want to wear a CPAP mask. You may find out you don't need one. We have every effective sleep apnea solution available. And believe me, the mask is the last resort.
It's time to take action to stop your sleep struggle. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
It started with a prediction.
Go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
Gabe Neitzel here. Catch Jen, Gabe, and Chewy mornings 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde And Tausch begins now. And it begins with Matt Lefleur now in consecutive weeks after the Vikings game, after the Bears game.
How about after breakfast?
Not tomorrow, not after breakfast, now.
I was starting to get to the point where I could not wait any longer for you to hit that button. Yesterday again, using the word sloppy to describe his football team.
Sloppy Joes.
Was that like an Adam Sandler type voice there? Is that what that was?
Billy Madison, I believe, right?
That may be the first time in the history of this show where you did a voice that was actually recognizable.
Oh, thanks.
So good job.
By the way, great job doing the 60-yard line rendition. Nobody got it.
0 correct guesses.
How do you didn't even know it?
I was told going into the clip that it was from the Sandlot.
There were multiple guesses.
Literally, we send it over, and it's in a Dropbox with the name of it, and Jesse doesn't still know?
I didn't have that.
Not only that, So we did not. It was not particularly well presented. And
what does that mean?
There were some technical glitches. Like we missed the first 20 words that were said in the clip as well. Over
an
the
issue with playing it.
It wasn't posted on Twitter right away.
It's not like you filmed anything else in the actual place the movie was filmed. So sorry for not recognizing the one that was the case this year.
Burn.
I don't think that was filmed on Stadium Drive.
It was not.
Oh
yeah.
By the way, it was pointed out to us, Tausch. This is
I know exactly where you're going, and this is amazing.
So you were in the 60-yard line.
Correct.
It is the only movie you have ever been in, correct?
Probably. That sounds right.
Pitch Perfect 2?
No, that wasn't me.
Brian Bulaga turned down that role, we learned.
Okay.
If you would like to stream the 60-yard line,
this is so
it
great.
is available.
I love this so much.
On Peacock.
That's irony.
That's where it lives.
I can finally see the end. I can finally find out if they get together in the end.
I'm going to tell you this, too, and not just because it is a good movie. Like, if you are a Packer fan, no, don't shake your head. It's a good movie.
It is. I actually enjoyed watching it, and then I had to stop, and I had paid Amazon to watch it, and then they didn't let me finish it because I didn't finish it within 48 hours. So thank you, Peacock. I'm glad I have your subscription so I can watch the rest of the 60-yard line.
I have not seen it. I'll watch it tonight before Michigan UCLA men's basketball on Peacock. A little double feature.
All right. I really want to get to this Matt Lefleur discussion because I feel like I pressed him on this a little bit, and I don't know if I came out of it feeling more confident that they can get things improved in time for Sunday's matchup with the Eagles, or if they are who they look like they are and it's going to be one and done so. So he calls his team sloppy. That leads to this discussion yesterday at the podium during his day after the game presser.
So, Matt, you can't live in the past. So what do you take from the last 2 weeks that you can apply moving forward, both for you and for your team, so it's useful, that the lessons that, what are the lessons you're taking from
I would say that we have got to be more detailed. It's been a little sloppy, and that's in every phase. And one of the things I challenged our guys on is it's, again, process over results, because if your process is right, if you're playing and doing your 1/11th, playing with the right fundamentals, playing with the right pad level, playing the right technique, then I think those results will come. And you can't just look at the result of a play, because there was a couple of plays, both really in every phase where we got good results. We were stuffing them for a yard or two, but we're getting cut out of a gap on the backside. And you can't do that, because especially with the team we're going against that has an offensive line like they have, that has a running back like they have, because they will gash us. And conversely, we made some plays down the field where puck goes up and makes a great catch on a stick nod versus man coverage, and maybe the ball should have gone to, I think, Malik running across the middle. It was wide open. So you just can't get consumed by the results. It's got to be the process, and we got to make sure that we do a great job of coaching the detail, and then it's got to get, everything has to happen on the practice field. That's where you improve, and that's what gives you the confidence to go out there on game day and perform at a high level.
You're talking about sloppiness, you're talking about pad level running.
Yeah, I just think there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that that we can work on in every phase. That just, there's got to be a standard for how you play every snap. And when it's not getting to that standard, typically what's going to happen is you're not going to get the results that you want. And that, I would say, showed up yesterday in the game.
I'm not trying to belabor the point, but when you get to this point in the season, you have been pretty detailed. You haven't been sloppy for most of the season. So when you look at that, why would that happen at this point in the season now?
That's a great question. And, it wouldn't have happened if I knew that. There's some things we're going to tweak with our practice schedule. a lot of times when you get to this point of the season, you want to take a little bit off their bodies. So we've had a little bit more walkthrough. So I think we got to get back to practicing on a daily basis, and whether it doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to do the same number of reps that we did week 1 of the season, but I think the consistency of which you practice allows you to go out and play a little bit more consistent on Sunday.
So,
well, like a 7-minute deal there between you two.
It's 3 minutes.
Felt longer.
I'm sure it did.
It was good though, and this is always the hard part that coaches deal with at this time of the year. And somebody asked me, does the postseason change, like how you approach things? And I always, when I played, I always thought, well, no, it shouldn't, because you have to balance the fact that now every mistake is highlighted, but you don't want it to be where you're making it even bigger than it is. You want to have the approach with your guys that this is what we do. This is the consistency that we do it, and that's our process to go out and win games. And if you all of a sudden are like, well, we got to cram now, we need to even study more film, that means you weren't watching enough before. And when you're talking about playing 17 games and a long season like these guys are doing, the biggest thing is you want to keep guys fresh. You want to keep them energized. And the playoffs is the easiest time because everybody is energized. Everybody is ready to roll. It's can you keep them physically there? So that's when you start doing more walkthroughs and you do more jog, and if you have a Thursday game and you have to shorten stuff up, things can get. And when you're winning, especially, maybe you let a couple things go. You don't do the corrections. You don't do that, and you're not out there going through and practicing the same way. And how you balance that is very tricky, and that's why when you have a loss like that, and you got 2 in a row now, that heightens. I'm telling you, you're in that meeting room, and when you lose games, there's not the joviality. Everybody, that door swings open and the coach walks in, everybody perks up, and that focus just naturally comes. So now you try to harness that and figure out, what do we need to really focus on in order to be more specific and more detailed so that we aren't as sloppy as what we've been.
So when he says about practice, that they've done a lot more walk-through, jog-through, that he thinks that is a factor in the details. The hand placement of an offensive lineman, right? The pad level of a defensive lineman, the footwork of a quarterback, the precision of the route running by a wide receiver. You played this game. How important are those things? It's not you guys just going out there and playing willy-nilly and loosey-goosey. There's a reason why coaches talk about fundamentals and details ad nauseum, because it actually does factor into how effectively you play on game day, right?
It does, and it's important to... The only way you get better at football is practicing football. And you have to have pad level and hand placement, all this stuff that you're talking about, route running. You can do it to a certain degree with route running, with walkthroughs, because those guys are still moving at a decent clip. There's not the contact. The only way to do it is to practice it. And that's why, even though we hated it, you knew 9 on 7 on Wednesday, short yardage and goal line on Thursdays, you had a hit. You had to bring your feet. You had to do all that stuff. That is something to get yourself dialed in. And for the looks that you're getting, it's important to see it, but then it's also important to go through and do it. And when you can do that consistently, you feel a lot better about your preparation. And when you're prepared, you're going to be a lot more successful when you see it out on game day.
Well, we'll see how much more detailed they are on Sunday in Philadelphia, taking on the Eagles, the second-seeded Eagles.
I sense you weren't overly impressed with his answer, is how I sensed your reaction.
I thought the final one, I mean, look, the question that needed to be asked after his first 2 answers was, in the words of Vince Lombardi, then what the hell's going on out here, right? That you're at the end of the season and now you're talking about how sloppy you are? Like, that's supposed to be at the beginning of the season, and you're supposed to progress through the year and get to look like you're supposed to look like.
Progress or regress.
Right, and be crescendoing for the playoffs, right? And that obviously did not happen. And so I did feel like I had to ask, well, then how is that the case? Because you feel like there were times when they were playing well this season, they weren't committing penalties, they weren't getting Jordan Love hits, Jordan Love's accuracy was good for a period of time. They actually had a pass rush intermittently. So, again, when you lose, everybody questions everything. I get it. But when he keeps using the word sloppy, I really wanted to get into that with him because that doesn't make sense to me. You're supposed to be, by the end of the season, you should not be hearing about how sloppy your team is.
No, and that's the battle you have is trying to figure out, is this who we are or can you fix it? And there's nothing that irritates fans more than when you week after week say, we're going to get this fixed. We got to clean this up. Fans go nuts when you hear that, and I understand why. It's like, well, what the hell have you been doing? You've had 4 months to get all this stuff cleaned up. If not now, when? Like, why are you waiting? And it's not that easy. So I understand it, but I get why people sometimes do that.
We need to play trivia. I don't know how. I feel like we've barely played trivia in the last 2 weeks because we had that one day where we played year-end trivia where 4 people played in the same day.
That was fun.
Jesse, great idea.
I was thinking we'd do a trifecta tomorrow. Do a little triple play. Geography.
Jesse?
Or we could play next and then do double geography tomorrow.
Sounds like a plan, too.
Yeah.
I guess I have the deciding vote.
Uh-oh. So we can only have 2 callers on at the same time. That is one of the logistical situations here.
So that's why we're doing one today.
Just wanted that to influence the vote as we wait for Jason's official vote here.
Well, it appears
Triple Play Wednesday!
I was ready to go Triple Play Wednesday, but now I guess we'll just play trivia now. Because even Tausch kowtowed there. Did you hear him there?
I did, yeah.
I want to be a team guy. I'm not going to sit here. If it's something we can't execute, I don't want to do it. No, it's true. You know that's true.
It is true.
Reminds me of the early days of our video stream.
Big team guy. Caller 11 right now for trivia. 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. Jesse didn't want to rewrite the trivia, so it is the Sports Weekend Recap plus 1 day trivia. Caller 11 right now. 844-770-3776.
I will offer a hint. I did rewrite one question to accommodate the plus 1 day. So there is one addition from Monday specifically.
Thank you for
your
service.
That is part of today's Sports Weekend plus 1 recap. Yep.
We'll play next. It's Wilde And Tausch.
This
Wilde And Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. It doesn't matter if it's your first betting slip ever or just the first one of the week. We've got your Potawatomi sportsbook picks covered. Tune in Wednesdays to the Weekly Wager with Greg Matzik, Ben Brust, and Jen Latta.
If someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything, you take it.
The Weekly Wager, Wednesday nights at 6, right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel.
Kevin Moret for Mentality. Most new clients in Mentality are stuck at just 1/3 the free testosterone they need, and that's a losing battle. Without enough free testosterone, nothing works. Your energy's gone, muscles weaken, and fat piles on. But it doesn't have to stay that way. Mentality's doctors bring your hormones back into balance so your body starts working again. More energy, stronger muscles, better results. This year, stop settling for a fraction of your potential. Start strong with our New Year offer at mentalityhealth.com/radio. That's mentalityhealth.com/radio.
This is Monster Jam. Big air, backflips, and all-out racing. Monster Jam. As big as it gets. The fun begins at the pit party, where you can meet the drivers, get autographs, take pictures, and see the trucks up close. Get your pit party pass at monsterjam.com today. Must have valid event ticket to enter pit party. Restrictions may apply. Rules and activities are subject to change. Visit website for event details. Coming to Fiserv Forum for 3 huge events January 10th through 11th.
UW Credit Union presents the Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Ashton Rotman with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
This week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week is Wisconsin Lutheran boys basketball player Isaiah Mellock. The 6'2 senior guard spent his sophomore and junior seasons making a big impact on the varsity squad while coming off the bench mostly, but he was a part of last season's state title team. This year, however, the Vikings starting combo guard is showcasing his talent. Mellock is averaging over 12 points a game and is shooting 50% from beyond the arc, helping Wisconsin Lutheran to an undefeated start this season. That, of course, including big wins at the Rick Majerus WBY shootout, where he put up 18 points in a win over Marquette and earned MVP. Off the court, Isaiah boasts a 3.5 GPA and is looking to continue his basketball career once he graduates. Congratulations to this week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, Isaiah Mellock.
It's time for the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart, located at 16th and National in Milwaukee. National Liquor Mart is packed with deals for all your beverage needs, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily.
The Bucks snapped their two-game losing skid following a 128-104 victory over the Toronto Raptors north of the border. Giannis notched his fourth triple-double of the season in the win, finished with 11 points, 12 rebounds, and a career-high 13 assists in just 28 minutes of action.
Taurean Prince throws it inside for the cutter. Caught by Giannis, throws it in. Left-handed dunk to get him the triple-double tonight. Giannis with the catch and slam, and it's 92-68.
Damian Lillard added a game-high 25 points in 25 minutes on 5 of 8 from three-point range. The 18-16 Bucks back home at Fiserv Forum Wednesday night as they welcome in the San Antonio Spurs to the Brew City.
This has been the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart.
Gabe Neitzel from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy here. Don't let the chilly weather end your golf season. X-Golf and American Family Field is open all year round. They've got innovative and accurate golf simulators, all overlooking left field at AmFam Field. Enjoy daily lunch specials or have an outing with your friends and take in X-Golf's full bar and food menus. X-Golf AmFam Field is even offering golf lessons by a PGA Pro. Everyone is welcome at X-Golf AmFam. Book your sim today, xgolfamfamfield.com. I'll see you out there.
You're listening to Wilde And Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Stars glow for you. Go see the world, cause it's all so brand new. Don't close your eyes, cause your future's ready to shine. It's just a matter of time before we learn how to fly.
Well, now I'm so glad we're playing trivia. Because our contestant is not only a first-time contestant, he's also a content provider for our show. Now,
who is it?
Which of your buddies was the Tom Hanks guy?
Hatch.
So Eric Hatchell has given us.
He's become big time. He still listens, but he's not. He's got a big job now. He doesn't.
It's kind of a big deal.
He doesn't contribute like he used to.
So, if you are an avid listener to our program, one of Tausch's
I'm not gonna Jesse it though and fire free help. So even though Hatch has dropped off precipitously, I'm not firing him. I still want his input.
He single-handedly carried us through multiple shows during the pandemic. So
he was great.
He served his time.
Oh, you want to fire him?
No, I'm saying letting him go.
No one's firing. But first of all, no one was firing the analytics firm or...
I would like to.
Or just because we disagree. We could disagree but not be disagreeable.
But you could be jerk stars too.
Songs better than movies from the Academy. And the Steinhoffel Sleepers of the Week judgment has been sketchy, including this past week when somehow Malik Willis ended up playing not in garbage time, but when there was an injury, threw a critical 41-yard completion to set up a touchdown.
Great throw. A great catch.
And then still was not the Sleeper of the Week winner.
Oh, I didn't even look. Malik didn't win it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So your guys, Anyway.
The replacement refs were better.
Burn.
Lance easily. No, this guy who's been sitting on hold going, am I playing trivia or not? If you remember, 8th grade graduation.
Oh, Big O.
Versus state baseball.
All right.
It is not Oscar Robertson. It was the other Big O. Oh, hello.
Hello. Good afternoon, guys. How are you?
How was Nash Vegas down there at that Iowa? Did you guys win? Iowa win that bowl game down there in Music City?
They did not.
Ooh, tough one.
We dominated, but bottom line, we lost 27-24 on a 56-yard field goal with about a minute and a half to go.
Uh-oh.
So
had plenty of time to go back and get the field goal, though, based on what the Bears did on Sunday.
Oh, burn.
Just didn't get it. All right.
Big O, no.
Oh, not bad.
It's okay.
Not bad.
All right, question 1. I think Tausch should ask all these since the Big O is his buddy.
I don't have the questions in front of me, so I don't have them. I'll chime in and help Big O, though, whenever I can.
Hey, if I have to break, because someone got whacked on the air, so I am working. So just FYI.
All right, we'll take that under account. All right, I have it up. All right, Big O. Which of these school records did the Wisconsin men's basketball team break in its 100? Oh, what a great question! Who did Wisconsin smoke in hoops Friday night?
Oh my God!
Iowa. What records did they break on Friday night? We did not plan this, by the way. Is it most 3-point shots made in a game, most points scored in a regulation game, or 4 seasons worth of Iowa football points scored?
Most 3 points.
Nailed it.
Oh, yes.
Bam.
1 for 1.
Perfect week.
Weren't they 4 points short of the most points ever, something like that?
Is that right?
120 was the all-time record, yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe when we play Iowa again, we'll do that. I love that they called out Iowa, said they had no interest in playing defense. I like that. All right, Big O.
I was the football game this year. Sorry. Anyways.
That was a tough one.
Whoa, Nelly!
I'm not gonna lie, that was a tough one now. But Big O put together a heck of a tailgate. We had a great time down in Iowa City. I was actually thinking about showing up late for the game. That's how good it was.
You tailgated?
I did. I didn't have any Coors Lights or anything, but I tailgated.
Of course you didn't.
There's a lot of Wisconsin folks. I told you before, man, Iowa from a campus standpoint, I'd have no problem if my kids decided they want to go. Iowa is a great campus.
Yeah, I agree with that. Mm-hmm.
So there's my positivity when it comes to Iowa. Nothing else. Nothing else. For the final team this season, which NFL for the final team? That can't be right.
For the final time. Final time.
You put it on a teleprompter,
That's
Big O.
me.
I'll read it.
That's on
Which
me.
NFL team scored the most
San Diego.
points this week? Was it the Panthers, the Cardinals, or the Broncos?
Oh, shit.
Ooh.
What are you kidding?
Well, that's Big O. You know Big O's going to swear.
You can't
That's
be
what he
doing
does.
that. Come on.
I thought we could say that now on air.
You can't
That was
swear.
illegal.
No.
Now, if it was Digi only, so from now on, we'll only do Digi only with Big O.
So now it's Greg Gard, Charles Woodson, and Big O.
That's not even like a real swear word.
Sure is, Big O. There's in my book.
Oh my God!
Don't swear again.
My goodness!
I mean, by rule, I'm supposed to cut you off the air right now, but we got to finish trivia, so don't do it again.
Oh my God! What were the options again?
Come on,
this
Big
weekend?
O.
This could use a reset.
Panthers, Cardinals, Broncos.
Panthers.
No, that was wrong. You didn't deserve. You deserve to get that one wrong.
Damn it!
Still
Who was
dropped
it?
That one's okay.
Hey,
That one's okay.
you can say the D word. You can't say the... Hey, just don't drop the F-bomb here before we let you go. Which team won the FCS National Championship game last night? Was the game in Frisco last night?
It was in Frisco, yeah.
I thought it was out in... I can't say. All right, who won? Montana State, UC Davis, or North Dakota State?
The Bison. North
He's
Dakota
definitely
State
getting this.
Bison.
He's definitely getting this.
All right, Ralphie. Great job.
That's
you got
Hall of
2
Fame material, 2 or 3.
Yeah, that's pretty good, except for dropping bombs.
You will not be in the Hall of Fame, Big O.
Yeah, you gave us content to discuss. I'll give you that.
Big O always brings it. He does.
All right, you've got 3 in the possible. I don't know what the rules are. I have not checked entries.com or ESPN Wisconsin contest.com.
So if we end up getting fined, do we just send that to your department, or what do we do, Big O? Because I just want
to
also
lose 1 entry for swearing.
Iowa's NIL fund will cover it.
Exactly.
Right,
Yeah, just send it down. Just send it to the Chiefs office. It'll be fine.
How excited are you? You got Gronkowski, the South Dakota State quarterback, stud. Couple national champions. He's going to Iowa.
Yeah, man, that guy, I saw him live this year against North Dakota. He is legit. He is
I'm a little nervous.
He's going to be an NFL.
He'll be the best quarterback Iowa's
too.
had since who was their big
Chuck
stud?
Long.
Chuck Long. He might be the best quarterback they've had since Chuck Long.
I don't want to cut you off, but I don't think I'm interested in pushing our luck by having you on our air anymore.
He's going to
so
swear or
congratulations.
make some other inflammatory
he's
comments?
done it twice already.
I mean, every time he said, "Oh my God," I was worried that he was going to lose.
It was a real roller coaster dealing with Big O today.
Yeah.
Bye, Big O.
See you, Big O.
Bye.
National champs 2026 Iowa football. All right,
I thought we cut his mic. Can we do that, please?
There's no way he believes that, by the way. I understand why he thinks that, but it's not going to.
But good. I'm glad he feels that way. Speaking of being fined, we would have to go into our slush fund here at Wilde and Tausch. And, of course, where would that be? Associated Bank. That's where all my accounts are, and that's because they have the best customer service in the industry. Now, it's not because they're the official bank of the Packers, because I'm not a Packers fan, but if you are, there's no better place to be. Packers checking gets you Packers checks, Packers debit MasterCard, 10% off the Packers Pro Shop in-store and online. Everything you could possibly need to augment your Packers fandom at Associated Bank. I'm there because of the people. Heidi, Ben, I got great people over there. Laura Rose, they have all been great to us. We love it over there, and you will too. So make the switch. Go to AssociatedBank.com to find out more. Whoa, Nelly is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcast for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Looking for the most popular answer. What's the worst thing about Wisconsin winters? Gina Della from Pella.
Finding a sitter when snow closes school. Yay! It's the time of the year when we just want to be all warm and snuggly at home. And Pella helps make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. With inviting doors to let friends and family in and beautiful energy-efficient windows to keep the cold out. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Want that mirror finish on your car? You need Z-Gloss by Z-Bart. Z-Gloss is a 3-layer ceramic coating that not only gives your car that mirror finish, it protects it from everything that Mother Nature can throw at it. Visit zbart.com for more information.
The Packers' 11-game winning streak over the Bears is over after a 24-22 loss at Lambeau Field. However, the big story coming out of the game, the health of Jordan Love. The Green Bay starting quarterback left in the second quarter with a right elbow injury. After the game, Love talked about what happened on the play that caused the injury.
I landed on it on the ground, I think. Just kind of pretty much lost all feeling in my hand and pretty much just went numb.
The Packers will be the 7th seed in the NFC playoffs and will visit the number 2 seed Philadelphia Eagles this coming wildcard weekend.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee.
Winning in the NFL comes down to the basics, blocking and tackling. In retirement, the certainty of protection and income are the keys to success. And as a former NFL player myself, I have experience with both. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons. Having played on winning teams with the Steelers and Falcons, studying game films helped me mentally prepare for the challenges ahead. Now I star in a new Hollywood documentary called The Retirement Deception to help you visualize and prepare for your 4th quarter of life. You see, you don't retire on your nest egg, but rather the income it can produce. This film shows you exactly how to protect your retirement from stock market drops and produce more income than you thought possible. possible, and it's free for you to view. Call 855-620-1801 right now for your free streaming code to watch The Retirement Deception. Don't risk your retirement savings at the goal line. You don't need to be risky to have a winning strategy. Call today to speak with an all-pro retirement specialist to get your free streaming code to watch The Retirement Deception. Call today, 855-620-1801. That's 855-620-1801. MitchLyonsWealth.com, your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement.
It started with a prediction.
We'll go out there and play basketball and win. And how many games? 6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
Woo! Hey, this is Ben Brust from Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin. People can't stop screaming about the Screamin' Sicilian frozen pizza, and no wonder. There's plenty to scream about, like the buttery stone-fired crust, secret recipe tomato sauce, mounds of whole milk mozzarella, and tons of premium toppings. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer and find out for yourself why Sport called Screamin' Sicilian's Holy Pepperoni frozen pizza the best of the best. Screamin' Sicilian, taste what all the screamin' is about.
Football season. Best time of the year and my favorite time of the year. This is ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman. On game days, my favorite teammate is a cold carbless in my hand. Premium cocktails in a can made right here in the great state of Wisconsin. Maybe it's when I'm at the tailgate ahead of kickoff or getting ready at home for the game. Carbless is there. 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and gluten-free. Carbless features classic cocktails like margarita, Paloma, and even Moscow Mule, and vodka cocktail flavors like cranberry, lemon, and peach. Find it on your next grocery trip. Carbless. Less is more.
This is Wilde And Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Time for Whoa Nelly.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa Nelly
on Wilde And Tausch.
All right, so before we get into anything else, Tausch, there appears to be a box that has appeared on the table in the studio.
I love how we've
there.
really embraced the digital part of this radio show. But yes, I have looks like a Christmas gift maybe, or something of that ilk from a great fan, potential Hoffer, I think.
Is it Hansel and Gretel?
No.
This is for the entire show from our buddy Sparky
so everybody
in
gets
Sussex.
one of these.
Everybody gets one, yeah.
Spark Dog. And it looks as if he's got 3 of these in here. And where's the camera at here? Here? Right there?
This one
right
here.
there.
That's the one.
Yeah, nailed it.
Thanks.
Well, maybe you could take it out of the
Yule
plastic
log.
so we can see what it is.
It's a Yule log. Looks like there's some cherry blossoms. It's an ornament of a Yule log. And you know what? We still have our tree up, so I will put this on the tree tonight.
Playoff tree.
Exactly. Playoff tree.
Is it the same as this one?
It's exactly the same, yeah.
Very similar, yeah.
No, it's the exact same.
Well, that's what he got us last year.
Well, we got him again. You can never have too many Yule logs.
What are you now? You are the. You might be a great gift giver.
Oh, no.
You are a horrible gift receiver.
I didn't receive that gift. You did.
No, there's 3 of them in there.
No,
one
you
for
have
each of
one
us.
too. It's for the whole show. You got to work on.
Well, this one's a little different.
No, it's the same. It's literally the exact same thing.
Whoa Nelly.
In fairness to Sparky, he came to Steinhoffel's and gave me a Robin Yount bobblehead. He's a great gift giver. You can keep the extra one for the studio. I already have one from him. That's all.
So you're going to turn down another gift that is given to you.
Take that one and put it at the trio.
Put it on top of the great Hansel and Gretel picture. That really hurt.
Nelly.
My feelings don't get hurt by you all that often. That hurt my feelings.
Sorry.
You're not even sorry about
Whoa, Nelly.
it. Total jerk store.
That was such an empty sorry. All right, right, reactions to some of the head coaching news around the National Football League. Tausch, what do you think of Gerard Mayo being out after one season with the New England Patriots?
It's kind of difficult when you don't have Tom and Bill, isn't it, Bob? I still am irritated that I got bullied by Bob Kraft's security at the Mall of America up in Minneapolis.
What?
Yeah, you can't just, nobody, Bob Kraft is coming through. What, is he a president? Like, what are we doing here?
How have we never heard this story?
I told you the day when
I don't remember this story.
Scalzi and I were doing the show, and we're walking around, and it's like, get out of the way, Bob Kraft is coming through. We're like, who gives a blank? I don't care. Bob Kraft can walk around. He's not performing, or he's not. If it was a bus over to the stadium, great. We're walking around the Blanken Mall. He's got security. Like, get out of the way. Bob's got to get to Spencer Gifts. Well, get out of here.
Spencer Gifts. Free advertising, by the way, for those of you keeping score.
I think they went out of business, so it's not free advertising. Allegedly. Maybe not.
I think they're still in the Green Bay Mall, but we're a few years behind. Also,
that's your take on Gerard Mayo being
it's just,
fired.
My point is, everybody's crowning Bob Kraft as like this godsend of an owner. His players all rank their facilities and everything else dead last. I would just maybe take a bigger picture look.
Yeah, I agree. By the way, that story, I had a similar situation with Jed York, the owner of the 49ers, that they were going to keep us off of the media elevator because he was going up it.
Was the game going on?
Does he need the elevator all by himself?
Was the game going on?
No, it was before the game.
So I'm a little bit, because if you're performing and the entire audience is there for you, I totally get it. Players,
right.
Taylor Swift when she's performing,
sure.
Not when she's coming to Lambeau and you got to shut everything up. I get it. I don't understand why we have to, at a mall on a Wednesday, like Bob Kraft needs to get to so-and-so. I don't give two blanks. Go ahead, order it on Amazon. You don't need to be shutting down hallways because Bob Kraft is walking through. I'm sorry.
Well, wasn't that
Mark Murphy isn't doing that. Mark Murphy, you go up and say hi. Hey, Mark, how are you?
Well, not
For
all
some
of
us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what on earth are we doing here? If Jonathan Kraft, who hadn't done anything, starts getting it, I think we got to push back. What are they going to bully you, like rough you up? Like, I told Scales, I was like, what the? And Scales is Mr. New England. Oh, just get out of the way. Oh, babe, make sure you take good care of the Patriots. They got to go win a champ. They didn't even win. They got beat by Philly. And I think part of it is because Bob Kraft is bullying people around allegedly, around the Mall of America.
Whoa, Nelly!
Doug Peterson's out after 3 seasons in Jacksonville.
What is the line of delineation as far as, like, if Jesse Nelson says, I'm hiring 4 security guards to go walk around Easttown Mall, can he go do it? Does everybody just got to get it the hell out of the way?
If you're hiring security guards, yeah, security guards are...
But why do I have to acknowledge your security guards? Like, what you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. I'm with you.
I just want an explanation.
I think once you're a billionaire, you feel like you're entitled to tell people that they have to get out of your way.
If you are an elected official, I sort of understand. Like the president...
Right, but that's Secret Service.
That's my
point.
point.
Not, I'm rich, get out of the Five Below because I'm here to buy a Squishmallow.
Yeah, I couldn't understand it then. Like, even Papa John Schnattner, or whatever his name was, that bullied, that wouldn't come on our show, and then he ends up losing his business. Even he didn't have security.
Karma. Wilde And Tausch karma right there.
That was an irritating deal. We're getting all these, big names. Evander Holyfield's coming on. I got all these people coming on, and Bob Schnattner is like, nope, we can't do it. Like, well, get the hell out of here then. We're a Pizza Hut program anyways.
Papa Bob.
Whoa, Nelly!
Bob Schnattner, too big to come on our show. Get the hell out of here,
That's why we're a
Schnattner.
Pizza Hut show, damn it.
Jesse,
anything else?
Deal. I mean, what a deal.
Any experiences with Brian Dable and the New York Giants? He's staying with the Giants after a 3-14 season.
I do think there's some point you have to kind of understand. Just changing to change doesn't make... Brian Dable, I think, is a good coach.
Yeah.
I mean, he won with DeVito last year against Jordan Love's hot streak. I think Brian Dable is a good coach.
I agree.
Should get 3 years. Like, this firing coaches after 1 year. When these owners say, it's on me...
It's not. Never is. They never say it is, actually.
No, Bob Kraft just did. He said it.
He doesn't mean it.
What do you think he means?
Get out of my way.
I hired this guy. So he's like their Ray Rhodes. Nobody wanted to follow Holmgren, so then Mike Sherman was compared to Rhodes more than he was compared to Mike Holmgren.
I don't think that has anything to do with this.
They didn't know Vrabel would be available.
That's also
He
true.
was available last year. They didn't hire him. They hired Mayo. Duke's Mayo, did you see that? Sold for a bonko amount of cash. All because they did that bowl game. Lesson learned.
We have now reached the portion of the program where we're in stream of consciousness Tausch hour.
What, you guys just brought up Jared Mayo.
Gerard.
Is it Gerard?
Yep.
Okay.
Any thoughts on Doug Peterson, who won that Super Bowl over Bob Kraft's New England Patriots, being hired by the Jaguars?
He was walking around, no security. Doug
Tausch already said it earlier.
What'd
Is Trevor Lawrence a coach killer?
Seems to be. That's what he's done.
I mean, I think Urban Meyer was just a bad coach.
He was, Urban Meyer sucked. But I think we have to start wondering, everybody is trying to compare him to Andrew Luck and some of these other cats. He ain't that. He ain't that.
He's not that guy. All right, that's it for Whoa Nelly.
That was productive.
And Duke's Mayo now, did they progress or regress because they hosted
progressed.
a poll?
I don't know what they bought in, but I just saw a private equity bought it for a bonko load of cash. And you just think, it's just so funny to me. You throw some eggs with what else is in there? Eggs and mustard? How do you make mayo again?
I don't know. It's good, though.
Well, no, it's disgusting. I hate mayo. That's it for Whoa Nelly. We'll wrap things up.
Brought to you by Heilmann's.
First of all, it's Hellman's, and you drink Coors Light, not the other beer that you just said inadvertently.
I don't even know what I said inadvertently.
Well, I'm not going to say
Whoa,
it.
Nelly!
So they've got a bear. Their logo is a bear. You never heard of that beer before?
No, I'd never said that. That was not as a beer. So no.
Hellman's is the mayonnaise. We can all agree on that.
Okay, I said Heilmann's. Is that a beer?
I have not heard it both ways.
Heilmann's is a beer?
I was going to stop. I was going to break.
Heilmann's is a mayo and a beer, but it's mispronounced.
Hellman's is a mayo.
But it's spelled Heilmann's.
We'll wrap things up next. It's Wilde And Tausch.
Summer will sound
Wilde And Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance. Whether it's live or in podcast form, you've heard us on air with all of our shenanigans.
Gabe, I'm throwing some. Why are you throwing? I don't want.
Now see your favorite 94.5 ESPN shows streaming on video.
By me, by the way. I hit that microphone like 4 out of 6 times on that.
Subscribe to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and get notified when we hit the air live. Plus, you can watch back any second that you miss and see original digital content too. Watch, listen, interact. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Whether you're an artist playing accountant, a barista trying to be a bean counter, or a student just looking to get started, the UW Credit Union app lets you be free to be you. With free credit scores, free online bill pay, and the ability to send money to friends. Because with fewer fees, you can do more of what you love. UW Credit Union, here for every you. Join today at uwcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
Join the roar of 18,000 Bucs fans at Fiserv Forum and be a part of the slam dunks, game-changing plays, and electrifying victories live. Witness the edge-of-your-seat action and unforgettable moments as they happen. You don't want to miss this. Grab your calendar, handpick your favorite matchups, and secure your seats for Dame time in Milwaukee and every incredible moment that comes next at Bucs.com/tickets. That's Bucs.com/tickets.
Are you heading into the new year with the same old joint pain? Or maybe you experience a new injury that gives you joint pain that is nagging you? Hey, this is ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman. There is no better time than the start of the year to refresh, renew, and say no to that joint pain. QC Kinetics is your go-to solution to get moving again in 2025. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine and joint preservation. They are right here in Greenfield and Mequon under the leadership of Medical Director Dr. Ashley Caravelli. When I visited the Greenfield location, QC Kinetics exposed me to a whole new world of regenerative medicine. So much in their toolkit to be able to get you your life back. They helped me, and they're going to help you with your own personalized journey to be able to make sure that you are starting 2025 back, active, and living a pain-free life. Call my friends at QC Kinetics for your free consultation. Call QC Kinetics today at 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
August 16th, 2024, Elite Media for American Family Insurance at ID YALM4181000. Spot title, Family Radio. 30 seconds, radio full mix.
Life's better with American Family Insurance. Because whether it's a family road trip in your dream car or hosting a family reunion in your dream home, we help you feel protected so you can enjoy those dreams with peace of mind. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Join the Milwaukee Panthers men's basketball team on Saturday as they host Green Bay in the Battle of I-43. Tip-off is at 3 at UWM Panther Arena. After an impressive win in December, Milwaukee looks for the season sweep of the Phoenix. Experience all the action, including rim-rattling dunks, clutch three-pointers, and game-changing blocks. Tickets start at $19. Help tilt the floor. Visit MKEPanthers.com to select your seat. Panther Athletics for the MKE.
Ready for a win? Well, it's your year. At Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee, you could win over $2,000 in free play every month all year long. Just play your favorite games and you might take the stage in the It's Your Year game show. 25 winners each Thursday. There's $300,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs this January. Yeah, we think it's your year. More info at paysbig.com. Must be 21 years old to play.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
All right, I'm going to do something that Tausch usually does to Jesse. Write this down, Jesse. Question from Ryan on Twitter. Things are going well at the Wilde house. Jordan, do you think Jordan Love's struggles are due to Matt Lefleur not being able to successfully mesh the new-ish running game for Jacobs with the passing game? It seems disjointed with Jacobs' success. We will address that tomorrow. We are over time, and there's lots of barking going on. That's it for us today. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on Wisconsin On Demand.
Mark Tauscher here.
Who's looking for a deal? Well, Cousin Subs has a better deal just for you. Cousin's new $10 meal deals are now available online only. Choose between a